Have some respect.
Shepherd, it's Pride Month. You can come out of the closet. So
He's
anyway,
looking out.
well, he's thinking about coming out of the
Yeah,
closet. It's very difficult to come out to your parents like that.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so Nick and I were just talking about because I've got as you if you aren't aware, I'm a huge soccer fan, and especially because World Cup is in the US, and I've got it just started South Africa versus Canada, which is the games, first of the first two games I think it is that's happening the round of 32. Um,
Okay,
but
I will say though, I want to complain. A lot of games are streamed through the Fox Sports app,
it's all
and
Fox Sports.
that app is fucking awful because you can't watch full screen on a tablet. It's like if you here's the game, US versus Argentina. I click on that game and it shows a tiny little screen within my bigger tablet screen and it says cast to your TV. No, I don't want to cast the TV. I want to watch it on the tablet. Okay, there's no way to go full
I'm
screen
really surprised about that. You'd think
because it's
that
a
they would
shit
have
app.
that.
Because it's a
Mm.
fucking shit app. Because every goddamn app in the fucking world now is shit. All the apps are shit.
Well, I haven't been watching it on tablet. I've been watching it on television because it is not only on broadcast television because it's Fox. On the weekends, it's on broadcast television, but I've kept my Google TV subscription
Mm.
and I watch it on Google TV at work. So I've
It
got one
is.
screen. My screen to my left is nothing but soccer, and then the rest of the time I'm like putting all of my work on this screen.
So I've been playing a lot of games and having the tablet next to me. So because I'm kind of half watching it, what I'll do instead, because Fox Sports has the rights to air it in English, Peacock has the Telemundo rights.
Oh,
And
because Peacock is Telemundo.
is a much better app. So I've been watching a lot of games on Peacock with the
Got it.
Spanish language announcers because every time they get excited, I'm like, oh, now I should watch.
Right,
I don't
right,
need to
right.
know the play-by-play
Can you
details. I
get
just need to know.
can you get captions in English on Telemundo?
Oh, I don't know. But I don't want to captions because I'm playing like Crimson Desert and then glancing over when people get excited.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, I've been watching it the whole time, but my obsession lately, I don't know if you've been doing this, and I'm having a really hard time completing work because I fall into a YouTube rabbit
Mm.
hole at work watching Europeans and especially like soccer fans, groups of soccer fans in the US. I am so sad that Scotland is out
Oh, why?
because if you haven't seen the YouTube videos of the Tartan army descending on Boston, like the Bostonians are like, please, Scotland, don't leave. We love you.
Aw.
The Tartan army, and this is not a joke, the Tartan army ran Boston out of beer.
Okay, so just for
Sam
clarification,
Adams,
the Tartan Army is like the soccer fans. Is
the
the
soccer
name of the
fans,
team Tartan? What's the Tartan part of the Tartan Army?
the tartan, yeah, it's like the
I don't.
kilts, that they're tartan.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. I've never heard Tartan
yeah.
before.
They had a tartan army day where they all went to Wrigley Field to watch a baseball game, and they watched a baseball game like they were soccer fans. So every time somebody went to go swing, they go, oh! It was absolutely fucking wild. And then their next games were in Miami, and then the Tartan Army goes to Miami, and Miami has no idea what hit it. Um, Algeria, their home city, I believe it was Kansas City. The Kansas City is like, Algeria, please don't leave. We love you. This is awesome. Watching people from other countries go to Texas barbecue and getting, like real Texas barbecue, the dino ribs, where they're like, oh my God. Watching the like pure spectacle of somebody from the Netherlands going into a Costco, that it's just, watching it is just bringing such joy to me. And yeah, I have been absolutely loving not only and a lot of like Europeans are online saying we have been lied to. We've been told by the media that the USA is a country in decline. The
It
USA is a
is.
country in decline. All right. Now, but decline for us is something different. Decline means that I'm having a hard time paying my rent and it keeps going up way faster than my income. Way faster than my income. I mean, the struggle is real. But they come and then they're saying country in decline and USA is terrible and like all of the horror stories of immigration, which yes, there are very much horror stories of immigration going on in the United States even around the World Cup. But they if they make it here and they get here, they're astounded at how nice we are. That we actually stop and say hello. Like walking down the street, somebody says, "Good morning." And people from
I
Europe are
find
like,
it I find it
"What?
funny
People
that
talk to each
there's so much social media positivity around foreigners in America.
other?" Mm-hmm. And
Kinda
the
kinda
thing,
like kinda undercuts the whole you
mm-hmm.
know, narrative.
It does undercut the whole narrative because the media very much lives on its bread and butter is panic, is creating a sense of panic, a sense of distrust, a sense of anxiety so that you keep watching the news. And
There's a newsletter that if you don't read it, you should because it
mhm,
is generally like this is how you keep up with the wild west of the internet. It's called Garbage Day. Um
okay.
and it's been going on for years. But he had his latest one. He was like, the whole right wing narrative kind of breaks down when you go outside and talk to other people.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, you need people to stay inside reading news that terrifies them so that they don't go outside, so that they stay in your ecosystem, just panicked and spreading shit online.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
you just go out and talk to other people, all of that narrative breaks down.
Mhm. Yeah, it's been a real absolute joy to see all of that happening on the internet and seeing the things that are making them like go, holy shit. Do you know what their obsession is? It never occurred to me, which is what I love about the fact that this is happening because it's not just them coming here and saying how great we are, but us going seeing things from their perspective. They thought yellow school buses were fake. They thought it was like a figment of The Simpsons, or they see movies of like, the suburbs, and they
Mhm.
think that that's fake. And then they go and they're literally walking down the street in the suburbs and a yellow bus walks by and it's like I feel like I'm in a movie set. People Kids have lemonade stands. I thought that was a joke. I thought that was just Hollywood makeup. It's real. Literally, I saw a lemonade stand here. And I thought about that it's like, yeah,
Huh.
no, this shit's real.
How much
But
does
I've
a
been,
lemonade cost now? I remember in
oh,
movies it was like 50 cents to a dollar. Is it like $5 for a cup now?
I know, I actually, it was 50 cents. The one I went by in San Mateo was 50 cents. Must have been 10
Inflation
for the
doesn't
lemonade.
exist. The economy is great.
We're not a country in decline. Our lemonade stands are still 50 cents.
Exactly.
Um, so yeah, it's I've just had such a it has done my heart good and it is like I feel like an opening
Hmm.
of my spirit watching these videos of Europeans in the United States going, "Oh my God." Like people were saying, "Are you sure you have enough space to host this many people?" And then they go to like high school
Oh, we have too
stadiums.
much space.
Yeah, they're like they have stadiums that hold 100,000 people or 80 to 100,000 people for college football. You
Mm.
had a choice. Oh, and air conditioned stadiums? Like, what? Air conditioning at all. But the fact that you could have an air conditioned stadium, it's like this I they just it doesn't yeah, that just
AC Red says dilute the lemonade with a water hose to get the costs down.
hey, water hose water
That's
is how
that's how
lemonade should
you
be
get
made.
it to 50 cents.
Yep. No, your neighbor's water hose.
Mmm.
Steal your neighbor's lemons, and then all you
Use
have
their
to do is pay
water.
for the sugar and then use their water. I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab some. I didn't had lunch, so I'm gonna grab some lunch.
Okay.
These
Yeah.
cuisine
What
today in honor of the fact that the San Francisco Bay Area got an unprecedented 3 restaurants with 3 Michelin stars. I'm having a bagel
was that?
dog.
Is that new?
We've never, yeah. I mean, to have 3 restaurants get
Oh,
three
in the
separate
same city.
restaurants in the same city, or the same regional area,
Oh.
newly minted 3 Michelin stars each. One of them, the very first Mexican restaurant.
Hmm.
Do I not have, man? Do I not have mustard? Oh, how?
So wait, okay,
Why?
okay, what was the meal? If
Big bagel dog.
oh, okay. But if you don't have mustard, that's a star
Yeah,
off.
yeah, it is.
That's
And
an immediate 3 to 2
it's
stars.
gotta be Dijon mustard because I'm classy.
Oh, yeah, yeah. No yellow Heinz for you.
No, 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 no. Yeah, in a pinch, you'll take brown mustard, but this is the superior dog. You're
Would you put
any
ketchup on it?
Europeans watching this, they're called Nathan's Coney Island bagel dogs or pretzel dogs. Pretzel dogs. Nathan's Coney Island pretzel dogs. Get it with Dijon mustard or brown mustard, not yellow mustard, and just dip it.
Yellow mustard is good. Yellow mustard should go on burgers and hot dogs.
Yellow
Cheap
mustard
food
is
demands
only for
cheap
making
sides.
potato salad.
No.
Mm-hmm.
What about ketchup?
Okay.
Heinz primary colors. Primary color red, primary yellow, like bright construction paper yellow.
I am going to go out and I am going to offend every single American here.
Mm.
Ketchup first for 2 things, right? Meatloaf and Japanese spaghetti, which is fucking fantastic.
What?
Japanese spaghetti is made with ketchup and not tomato sauce. And it is good. It is so good. Japanese
Mm.
spaghetti Neapolitan.
I mean, I could go with that. I've seen YouTube people put like ketchup on ramen. Not in ramen, but like take the ramen noodles and cook them up differently.
Mm-hmm.
Um and use ketchup. So
Yeah.
that makes sense. But only those 2 things? Hell no. Ketchup on fries, put ketchup on a burger,
Yeah.
put
Yeah.
ketchup on a
No, ketchup on a
pretzel.
burger is
No,
wrong.
ketchup on a burger is good. If it's a good steak, don't put ketchup on the steak. If it's an overcooked steak, do whatever you need to make it
Mm-hmm.
edible.
Yeah. All right.
That's
That's good.
fine.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. Oh, we got 19 comments already. Thank you for the link to Nathan's Coney Island pretzel dogs. That's what
Nathan,
you want right there.
yeah,
You
he
and here's how you
oh,
cook it.
oh,
You don't cook it in the oven like it says. You put it in the microwave for 1 minute, and then you put it in an air fryer for 1 minute and 30 seconds at
air
450
fryers
degrees,
are always better
so
than
that
a
you get the crispy
oven.
outside. This one's a little overdone because it was sitting there too long, but you get the crispy outside, so it's pretzely, but it's still soft and done inside it, and you
You
don't
need to
have to
dip
wait
that in
15
something. It,
minutes.
it looks
I
too
do.
plain as it is.
I do, but I'm hungry and I don't have mustard. I don't know why I don't have mustard.
This is where ketchup comes in. Emergency
Mhm.
condiment. AC Wraith
There
also
you go.
linked to Cave Johnson's Lemons rant from Portal 2, which I remember him ranting about lemons, but I don't actually remember the details about it. But I remember it was being really funny, which to me says it's time I played Portal 2 again. because it's been long enough that I've forgotten most of the puzzle solutions and all the jokes.
I will totally play Portal 2 with you again.
You know what we could play it on?
Dream Machine?
On new Steam machines.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to buy it. We'll talk about it in news.
Okay, okay. Okay,
But
before
yeah,
we
we'll
get to
talk
news,
about the price.
since we're on the TV era of GameHounds,
Mm-hmm.
and we didn't do a podcast last week,
Mm-hmm.
I've bounced so hard off of Downton Abbey. I I could not finish the second season. It it became a daytime TV soap opera, and I just could not get into it. When they introduced the uh, evil ex-wife, sham marriages, and I'm actually one of the people who was supposed to die in the Titanic, but I'm actually alive. But I've had amnesia for the past 6 years, and I was like, oh my fucking god, they're doing an amnesia story, like bring someone back from the dead, but I've had amnesia the whole time, and it was only for one episode, and then he left, but that kind of made it worse because it's like you brought in this really stupid cliched idea and then just abandoned it because like what the fuck was the point of that? And I spent the whole episode rolling my eyes so hard. And it got to the next I had committed to getting through season 2, but at the end of one episode, Rachel was like, "We don't have to keep watching. Like, you don't have to keep watching it." And so I said, "I can't. I can't." Oh, Downton Abbey. It started off like pretty sweet and fun, and then it just became a fucking soap opera. I
It did.
look, Rachel was telling me about all the stuff that happens later on. Um, and again, I was just sitting there kind of rolling my eyes. Like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. And she said, "Oh yeah, in one of the later seasons, one of the characters, like the chauffeur, and one of the characters' race car husband, go into a car business together." And I thought, I would fucking watch that.
Mm-hmm.
I would absolutely watch a like high end guy go into business with the low end guys about cars. That's the kind of flower show, low stakes, everyday shit that I enjoyed. But
Did
then
you
it was
get to the
just
point where the
surrounded.
chauffeur marries the daughter?
No, that didn't happen.
And then
Uh,
she dies of preeclampsia in
and
childbirth?
and it's like, oh my god, how fucking forced can you get? It's just I can't with that show. I can't. I can't. They should have just stuck to the flower shows, the flower competitions. It would have been better. Oh my god. What is a good show though?
Mm-hmm.
On Apple TV, Your Friends and Neighbors.
I've seen that. It's good, huh?
Yeah, it's like a lower stakes,
Andrew
more
Smith says spoilers. Like you're gonna watch fucking Downton Abbey, Andrew.
Andrew, I'm gonna save you 12 hours. Don't watch it. Um, but Your Friends and Neighbors is really good. It's like a lower stakes, more character driven version of Breaking Bad. Like if you watch Breaking Bad and you were like, this is a little like this
Yeah.
gets a little too dark. This is a
Yeah.
little
See,
too
that's my
heavy.
problem with Breaking Bad is that it started out kind of like, okay, this is kind of fun, and then it got dark real
It got
fast.
dog. Your Friends and Neighbors is the show for you. Because it's about a guy who loses his job. He loses his like white collar multi-millionaire job and resorts to robbing his neighbors' houses to keep up appearances. But in doing so, it also talks about his divorce and
Mm-hmm.
like what that does for the community, the weird insular like high school politics of all the people in this really high-end community. Uh and it gets to a point where the robbing is there, but it's not like the focus. The real
Right.
focus is on him and has a character and like what drives him to do the things. What is he trying to correct? How does he fix his family's
Navigating the
relationships?
situation.
And yeah, it's like really well done, really compelling, really interesting. Um,
By
but
the way,
yeah, a little bit more
navigating
lighthearted.
high-end neighborhoods, that's my life right now.
Is that a more house drama in Richmond?
No. No, that's staying with the boyfriend drama.
Oh, with
And
the fake cat,
the
the stuffed
with the
the
fake
stuffed
the
cat.
stuffed cat, yeah. I've been sending Nick and Andrew he has a absolutely monstrous Maine Coon cat named Woody. And Woody, because he's a very big cat, and if he moved too much, I think that he would just explode. So he doesn't move much and prefers to lie in the sun and on his back. That whenever you will walk across him, he's just on his back like this. And I just keep sending them phone pictures day after day after day of Woody in exactly the same spot. That's not this. No, that it might be the same day. I don't know. Every day looks the same with Woody. He never moves, and when he does, he just maybe moves
Those are
position.
apparently different days.
Those are totally different days. You can tell by the color of my socks. He just never moves.
And so I've joking. I don't think Woody's alive. I think he's just a stuffed cat that
Yeah.
Edie and Chris pose, and they just changed the angle.
And the thing about Woody is that most cats, when you're in that position, if you walk up in front of them and like even touch them, they'll actually move. Woody won't move. I mean, I can walk up to him and he will lie like that for hours. I took a picture at 8 o'clock in the morning and another picture in exactly the same position, exactly the same place. He hadn't moved at 7 o'clock at night.
Wow.
He doesn't move.
Ezio says, "You've got a friend in me."
He really is a spirit animal of every gamer everywhere. That's the when we if I ever reincarnate, I want to come back as Woody. I
Mm.
want everything the same. I just want to be in a place where people just feed me expensive wet food that I take one bite of and then walk off and then go lie back and splayed out.
I mean, he spends most of his time hibernating. He doesn't need a lot of food.
No, he does not. That cat does not eat a lot of food because he doesn't ever move. He's just a lump. And occasionally you'll find him in exactly the same position in a slightly different part of the house, like a slightly different area, but it's always that same position of lying on his back.
AC Ray says, "I always want a Maine Coon when I see one. I watch a lot of girl and her dogs grooming videos on YouTube."
Can you pull up the photo of my brother so that they can get a sense of the
Mm.
scale of this cat? This is this is the biggest cat I've ever seen. It's not the biggest cat I've ever seen like on YouTube or something, but he is definitely a contender for those cats. He is absolutely, yeah, that's Woody. He is a no joke big fucking cat. I know. As Andrew said, what a unit. That cat is a unit.
Ugh. Yeah.
So anyway,
Okay.
that's enough, fiddling around. I just FYI watching, I don't know if I mentioned it, watching
Yeah. You're
South
watching
Africa,
soccer.
Canada. 32 minutes in, tied 0-0.
Okay.
And we have USA versus Bosnia Herzegovina um, on Wednesday here in California. Like, what was it, 15 miles south of me? Is that how far Santa Clara is from Redwood City or from San Mateo?
Maybe
Maybe
I don't.
11 miles.
I'm I'm I'm
Close enough I'm not getting on the freeway.
I'm a West Coast American. I don't judge things in distance. I judge it in time.
Time. Yeah.
It's like a 20-minute drive.
It's a 20-minute drive in moderate traffic. It's a 10-minute drive at 4 o'clock in the morning, and it's a 2-hour drive if USA is playing Bosnia Herzegovina at Levi Stadium.
Yeah. AC Wraith says Dr. Stone ended. It's time for Nick to watch. I've
Okay.
actually heard good things about that show. But you know what I gotta watch first? I gotta fucking watch Attack on Titan. I need to see the end of that.
Yeah. Oh. So, let's start the show,
Yeah.
and then we can talk a little bit about games and a lot about news because we didn't
There's
have
a
a
lot
show
of
last
news.
week, and there was a lot that happened last week, and even more that happened this week. Sorry
Yeah.
about it. It was Father's Day. Needed to do the Father's Day thing. which ended up being a complete fucking boondoggle, but oh well.
Oh no.
Yeah. I won't bore you with it. Let's just say sometimes your best laid plans just go awry. All right, so let's wait,
Oops.
hold on, wait,
Oops.
hold on,
Oop.
hold on,
Um.
wait, hold on. Oh,
Yeah, I'm
hold
fucking
on.
things up too. Trying to
All
get a
right,
light
there
on.
we go. You getting a light
Technical
on?
difficulties. Everything's going wrong. Okay, there we go.
All right, let's start the show.
This
Azir says,
podcast
What?
no, let's talk more.
No, let's not talk more. We've got stuff to talk about.
It's a
We'll keep
podcast. What do you
talking.
think we're going to do?
Yeah, exactly. All right.
this podcast discusses video games, pop culture, and technology, and these podcasters have big fat potty mouths. If you're younger than 18 or are easily offended, please stop this podcast now. Oh, and your mom said to take out the trash and do your homework.
Hello and welcome to GameHounds. GameHounds episode. What episode is it? 824. We are recording this on Sunday, June 28th, 2026. Oh, last show of June. Wow, June disappeared. Anyway, I'm Edie Sellers. With me is Nick DiNicola right over there. So, let's talk very quickly about the games that we played since we were off for 2 weeks. I played Crusader Kings. More Crusader Kings. And I had to be in a waiting room waiting for someone to have a colonoscopy, so I played a little bit of Windrose. But I really, I'd walked away from it for a little bit of time, and I just couldn't I just didn't want to get into
Mm.
hardcore, into doing a big naval battle or something. So I just went in a cave and mined copper for an hour. And it was great. I loved it. Best day ever. But yeah, I'm back to playing Crusader Kings, relearning how to play Crusader Kings because, boy, howdy. I mean, I remember when I walked away from it, or at a certain point, I was playing it and thinking to myself, I could do anything. And, I could play any culture, any player. And I did. I started to play really challenging cultures and really challenging characters that were underpowered to see how powerful I could get from being as small as I possibly could be. And yeah, I had no problem. I mean, it was fun, but I had no problem. Man, I'm playing right now as Earl Haston, who is arguably the most OG overpowered character in all of Crusader Kings. Totally, yeah, he's got it all going on. And he can do anything and has all these advantages, and you could just pretty much do anything with him. He is the easiest character once you've gotten the basics. He's the easiest character to just do wild stuff with because he's so powerful. And I I'm having a hard time with him, with oh god, I'm his dynasty may not last a second person. My son, his son might not actually survive the dynasty. He might actually lose his kingdom. And it's like, wow, I am so out of practice. It is
So,
a skill that takes a long time to learn. It's not easy to learn. It's very hard to master, and it is very easy to forget. It is not getting back on the bicycle
has the
at
game been
all.
updated since you last played it? Like
So
maybe,
much.
do you think maybe there's some balance changes that are making that even harder?
Yes and no. There are some balance changes, but there's also some just basic mechanics change that haven't changed at all. It does play slightly differently, and there have been, I mean, for me to pick up all the DLC, and I'm not talking about cosmetic DLC, I'm talking about the DLC that I have missed since I stopped playing it. I've got well more than $100 dropped into this game.
Oh,
For me to pick up the rest of the DLC up to this point, it is another $110. They have they've rebalanced. They actually supposedly nerfed Jarl Haston, but he's still pretty overpowered. Um, but it is and some of the mechanics work slightly differently than they used to, but it is not appreciably different. They've added a bunch of interesting mechanics to do with family and um, and dynasty holdings and a bunch of other stuff. But it's it's still a game that I could the problem is that when you sit down, you really have to realize that time is not going to stand still. Time is going to speed up because
Mm.
you're going to spend some time just setting up your character, getting ready to play, and you'll look up and it's night. It's like, shit, how did that take so long? So it's a very, and that was really my problem with that game. Is it you really have to have like a day, like a whole day to spend on it. You can't you have to devote time to playing this game. You can't just kind of drop in, drop out for 20 minutes. It just no. There is no such thing as 20 minutes. So, but
And what are you
still
playing it
enjoying
on?
it.
Are you playing it on a PC or the Steam Deck?
PC, I don't know that I trust it on Steam Deck. It is a mighty crunchy game.
Hmm.
It's a big game to start off with. Um, I mean, it takes a long time for even a PC to load it up, but it is very much a PC-oriented, PC-focused game. I can't imagine playing it on a Steam Deck. It would just be so difficult
Hmm.
and slow to play, just simply because you would have to actually move your cursor around to do stuff.
Well, because the Steam Deck has the mouse pads. That's why I was wondering if maybe that would be easier than using, because you're not technically using a controller.
No, no. I just don't think it would be a very
Mm.
good experience. I mean, I'm having a hard enough time on the Steam Deck with Windrose. I notice a difference
Mm.
with Windrose, and Windrose is nothing compared to the complexity of mechanics on screen that you're constantly having to move around and check and everything.
Okay.
You would essentially have to make a bunch of changes and then start it and stop it, and then make a bunch of changes and start it and stop it. You that's,
Oh, yeah, because you don't want to have it running in real time.
you can't have it running in real
Yeah.
time. I mean, that's and so much of stuff. It's like fuck, and you gotta like stop it, like spacebar now, spacebar up. Like click 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 click. Okay, now that happens. Okay, now I need to do this. So this. Okay, click click. Okay, that happened. Now click.
Turn it into a turn-based game.
It sort of is. It has to be a turn-based game. But then
Uh,
there's
it,
parts of it that go way too slow, like battles, and you want to like
mm,
just take the battles up to you know high speed, level 5. Take the battles up to level 5, and then stop. Because if you don't, then something else could happen off screen that you can't control. It's like fuck, I have to watch that. Anyway, you were saying.
AC Wraith said that he beat the Saboteur, but technically missed out on killing the bad guy because he kept shooting him in the balls instead of the head.
I
I
didn't
didn't know that was
realize.
an option,
I didn't realize that was an issue.
but I like that you can do that.
Here's the thing, AC
I
Rice.
pretended
Why
he
did
offed
you?
himself because he couldn't stand being a eunuch.
So why did you keep shooting him in the balls instead of the head? That's what I want to
I
know.
mean, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of self-explanatory.
Oh, 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 South Africa. Oh, South Africa. Pile up in front of Canada's goal. So much offsides. But Canada survives. All right.
He also said that he was debating adding either Star Dynasties or Stellar Monarch 2 to his wish list, like Crusader Kings in space. He says he got you to buy Star Dynasties a while ago.
I did, and I started playing Star Dynasties, and it's so much like Crusader Kings that I realized I don't want to do this again.
You're like, I can't learn a new trick.
The whole time I'm playing it and I'm thinking to myself, "Oh God, I gotta learn this too. I'd rather just play Crusader Kings because at least I know what's going on." It occurred to me that I should be playing, and I did play tried to play quite a bit of Star Dynasties, but it is that same feeling when you're first playing Crusader Kings, is that you start to play And you really have no idea what's going on. And there is a level of frustration that is real because you know you're playing it badly, but you can't figure out why. And you have to go to the internet and read or watch hours of YouTube videos to figure out why is this happening to me? I don't know what to do. It's not like it makes it easy on you to figure out what's the next step. Like where should you go? What should you do?
Yeah.
You're just given this board with people and things and you have to sort it out. That was your frustration with Crusader Kings. That you're like,
Yes.
okay, now what do I do? I want to start a war. Do you? I mean, you
Also,
can't just
how
walk
do I
over
do
and
that?
start a war. Right. And how do I start a war? I want to go start a war with this guy. It's like, you're not going to, A, not going to win. B, why
Why
would
do you
you want
think
to
I
start
want
a
to win?
war?
I just
Because
want to cause chaos.
then the game is going to end. If
I just want to burn things down.
if you lose, then you just get yourself in a spiral where somebody's going to invade you and take over your take over everything, and then the game is over.
Uh,
It
here's the thing. Here's the thing. When I'm learning how to play a game, I don't need to play it well. I'm not trying to play to win. I'm trying to play to learn. And so
True.
part of that is I'm just going to try to burn down the whole system. How far can I get? What
Yeah.
happens?
Yeah.
And AC Wraith says that the bad guy killed his best friend, more than killed, tortured and killed. I couldn't make it quick.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did kill and torture and kill your best friend. So,
So yeah, new game that I played
new game you played. Yes.
is the demo for Onimusha Way of the Sword.
Oh, okay.
And going into this, I played it a couple weeks after it came out, and a lot of people's criticism was that the game felt too easy.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely get that sense because if you go in just straight up mashing buttons and hacking and slashing, you can pretty easily cut your way through every enemy. But the way the game is designed, there's actually like this really interesting emphasis on parrying. And so at a certain point, I stopped hacking and slashing and I kind of took things way slower and let enemies come to me instead of me attacking them first.
Mm-hmm.
And that really changed the whole feel of the game because there's a real emphasis on animation and how the character moves. And when you wait for the enemy to come to you, if you parry them at the right time, that opens them up for basically a one-hit kill, and you can then immediately cut them in half. So the pace of the game changed from me button mashing to a very samurai-esque sit, wait, and then when they attack, do a quick boom, kill. And it's like, oh, that feels like a samurai movie with two people staring at each other, and then in a second, one of them's dead. It's like, oh, this is pretty cool. And when I get surrounded by a bunch of enemies and I'm just standing in one place, looking around, waiting for them to come to me, and when one does, I parry, kill. Another one comes, I parry, kill. It feels like Kill Bill. It feels like a martial arts movie where I'm not moving. Like you're gonna come to me, and I'm just gonna cut you down. And that created a really compelling just vibe. It feels like playing a samurai movie. It feels like playing a martial arts movie in a way that faster paced action games don't. And part of that has to do with the real emphasis on animation because it is beautifully animated. Uh, and
It
it's just
is.
kind of a really fun game to watch. So I definitely get the criticism of it being too easy. This is definitely a game I would put on hard mode. But I really want to play it just because it was a compelling experience. It was fun to play. It was fun to watch. Towards the end of the demo, I fought a boss who was a genuine challenge because he got me down to a sliver of health, and it felt like a really good samurai back and forth, emphasizing there's a parry, that real cool slow mo with the sparks
Mm-hmm.
flying off the sword. It was never not satisfying to see. Even when I did it, 10 times in a fight, it was always satisfying to see that and then immediately cut them down afterwards. So I'm really excited as to how this is gonna turn
Yeah,
out.
this looks like fun. And the fact that you say it sounds like it's too easy, that actually is appealing to me because you can always ramp up difficulty.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, I could just run around and hack and slash, but I kind of chose to slow down a bit because I
Hmm.
don't need to kill the enemies quickly. I want to sit in this game. I want to appreciate the vibes of it. And
Hmm.
so, yeah, I kind of walked up to enemies. I paused. I parried instead of attacking. And that changed the vibe of the game in a way that I really appreciated and found way more entertaining than trying to make it a fast-paced Sekiro like.
Right. I the name is so familiar to me that I feel like I played it, but
It Onimusha was a PS2 era franchise, and there have been like 3 to 4 other games over the course of the decades.
hmm.
Um, it started off as like Samurai Resident Evil in
Hmm.
a real funny way. But yeah, I remember playing this with a friend at a sleepover, the first game, way back when I was in high school.
When you were doing sleepovers.
Yep.
Oh, that is so
Oh, look at that. Nice,
satisfying.
nice
That is so
sword.
satisfying.
Cut him in half vertically.
This is looks like so much fun.
Yeah, it's just
So
cool to watch too.
much fun. Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I'm really digging it. The last demo I played, The Adventures of Elliot, didn't convince me to get the game. This demo convinced me to get the game. So
Yeah.
it did its job.
No, well done.
Ha!
Well done,
Yeah.
Onimusha.
Maynard said Samurai Resident Evil. Holy crap, we said the same thing. Because
Hmm.
it was literally Samurai Resident Evil. It had the static camera angles and tank controls of old school Resident Evil, but it was just a samurai game.
Hmm.
It was, I guess, it's the same way Devil May Cry started out as like action Resident Evil, because again,
Hmm.
static camera angles, but you were jumping around instead of shooting the guns.
Oh, I love the fact that you can use environmentals like that.
Oh yeah, and they have those naturally located in key places. Like if there's some archers, you will lift that up, block the arrows, and then push that out to knock them away.
That's awesome. Okay. All right. I think I might have to pick that one up. And what are you playing it on?
PlayStation.
Okay, so it would work well on a Rogue Ally. I mean, not a Rogue Ally, but a Steam Deck. It looks like it might be a good Steam Deck game.
Yeah, it could be. I know the Capcom games are generally pretty. I guess Monster Hunter is the exception, but I think they're generally pretty well optimized.
Hmm.
I mean, Resident Evil 9 came out on the fucking Switch. I think
AC Ray
Onimusha is
says,
coming
"Are
out on
you
the
coming
Switch.
on the show at some point now that Edie is wavering for the Steam machine?" Oh, Maynard, May. Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
We'll
We will
talk
talk
about
about
that.
how I'm wavering on the Steam machine.
We both got
Uh,
into the lottery. We both won the lottery, but instead of winning money, we won the chance to spend money because that's the
yep,
economy in
yep.
2026.
Yeah, and both you and I went for the lower price model because you have to pick which model you want.
No, I went for both models. Okay. I guess we can
We'll get into that.
I'll
We'll
talk
get in.
about
Hold on.
okay, you want me to
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
We'll
because
get
we
into
have to
that
pick.
later then. Maynard, stick around. He says I've got some things to talk about the Steam machine.
Okay, all right,
Um
because we'll start with that
we'll
because
start
Nick
with
loves to
that.
bury the lead.
I just want to say about Crimson Desert because I've been playing more of that as usual.
Hmm.
Officially past the 200-hour mark, which I believe is the longest time I've spent on any game in the PlayStation recorded
Wow.
history. Um, there's one part. That game is a game of duality. Um, there was this one thing that I stumbled across in this forested area. I had this mission. There's like lightning striking out of this random area and it's burning down on the trees. So the people were like, hey, go figure out what's going on. Go stop the lightning. I go up to this mountainous area and I get the objective, uh, fix the lightning machine. And it doesn't tell you how to fix it. But there's this pillar this platform in the middle of an open area with 5 little tiny lightning rods on it. And I'm trying to figure out what to do. I'm punching them, I'm slashing them, I'm stabbing them, but nothing's having an effect. And I kind of look up and I realize, oh, there's lightning coming down, but it's like coming down and then going off to the side, like it's being redirected. So I fly up over there and I find a big lightning rod. Like, okay, what do I do with this? And there's a whole puzzle sequence of me trying to figure out what to do with this lightning rod, figuring out there are other lightning rods around the environment, and that the mini ones in the platform are kind of pointing me in the direction of those bigger lightning rods. As I start connecting the lightning rods to each other so that lightning hits one, goes to the other, goes to the other, the storm around me starts getting bigger and stronger to the point where what was once like a cloudy day becomes a pitch black rainy night, lit only by my tiny lamp and the flashes of lightning circling around me. And so I'm flying through the rain, like lining up. Okay, I think the other lightning rod is over there. So I'm going to line this one up and then I'm going to fly over. I can't see 5 feet in front of me. So I'm flying and I smack into the side of a mountain and then have to start climbing that mountain. But it's just such a really, really exciting, unique experience to try to solve this puzzle in an increasingly dark environment lit only by lightning. And it was so much fun. Once I got all that figured out, oh yeah, this is it. That's the mini lightning rods that I'm looking at, trying to figure out like, okay, how does this work?
Mm-hmm.
Once I
Yeah.
do, I call down a lightning god. And it's like, okay, time to fight a boss. That boss is like one of the a deeply embarrassingly bad Shadow of the Colossus wannabe.
No.
And there are a bunch of bosses like this in the game where you fight a giant creature that you're supposed to climb up and like stab or punch in some way. But the physics of the game don't really work well with that because all
Mm-hmm.
of these bosses move really quickly. So I'm trying to climb on it, but then the arm slides away. It's like, well, I can't fucking get on that arm. How the fuck do I do this? And I looked up videos. The solution is, well, if you want, you can try to climb up behind him and just hit him once on the back of the neck to kill him. Or every time he punches the ground, hit his hand for minor damage and just do that over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up doing that over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's just such a lame climax to a really fantastic puzzle sequence. And then later in the game, I fought this giant crab, but every time I landed on the crab to stab its shell, it would jump and shoot me into the air. And it's like, oh my fucking god, I can't. I'm trying to. I'm trying to cling to it, but I can't cling to it because it keeps throwing me up for the fuck. It's such a contrast of like, oh man, exploring this world is really cool. It's filled with these like puzzles that it doesn't explain that I'm have to like kind of figure out on my own in a really interesting way. Oh, this is exciting and awesome. Filled with, boy, this boss fight fucking sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it is a game of duality.
Yeah. It looks, I mean, don't get me wrong, this absolutely looks gorgeous. I
Oh,
will not be playing it.
I still every now and then there's something about the way the world is designed to really emphasize sight lines because there's so many places where you can get up high and you can look from one end of the continent to the other. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting there going, "Oh, I recognize that city. That's the road that leads to a hill that I then go up to get to my camp. South of that is the forest filled with like little fairies. Then south of that is a big reed field. Oh, and then if I go north, I can see the desert. I can see the forest. Like I can see all the places I've been from up high. And it's detailed enough that I can recognize individual roads. It's really fucking incredible.
Andrew Smith
Andrew's
says,
talking about he's talking about Onimusha here.
Onimusha. He says, yeah, the animations are so immersive, but yes, the demo is surprisingly easy. There's a weight to the parrying. You can feel it, and it's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, even he said, yeah, the Onimusha demo has me so hyped up. It was so fun.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm continuing to play Crimson Desert, but it is a game of these boss fights. And if I'm fighting someone that's a person, the boss fight's pretty fun. If I'm fighting a giant creature, the boss fight generally sucks.
All right, good to know.
But it's a cool game to explore, and I'm still enjoying the hell out of it.
I'm not going to be playing it.
Like that's fine. That's fine. I won't try to convince you. But I'm
Pointless.
shocked at how after 200 hours how much I still want to play it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's kind of like me and Crusader
And
Kings.
Crusader Kings. Except you put literally 5 times more time into it.
I'm up to 2,100 hours now.
Oh my god.
Sorry, no, I was up to 1,200 hours. I'm now up to 1,300 hours.
Okay, that's a little bit different, but
yeah,
still, like,
sorry.
holy shit. I don't think I've ever. I think 200 hours is possibly the longest I put into any game ever.
Uh-huh. Oh, this is definitely the longest game I've ever played.
Yeah.
No
Yeah, that's
question.
nuts.
And I put a lot of years into The Sims, but I've never played like this before.
WoW?
Oh, wow. Yeah. But that was, 16 hours a day, 7 days a week for multiple years.
WoW doesn't count. WoW was a second job, not a hobby.
Yeah, no. WoW was an addiction. That's a very different thing. So now that we've got through all that, can we go to GameHounds news, please?
Yeah.
All right, let's hit the news. This is the GameHounds news. Sorry if that was loud. This is the GameHounds news, the news, and commentary of the week in gaming with Gamer Edie and Nick D. Nicola. And our first item is...
AC Wraith put 3,000 hours into a robot named Fight.
Yeah, I know he did, because he spent a lot of time
But like that's a Metroidvania game. I'm shocked.
He loved that game.
Anyways,
absolutely loved that game.
What else happened? Nothing else happened.
Oh, I'm not going to let you bury the lead again, because that's what
I see AC Wraith playing that all the time.
Yeah. All right.
We were going to talk about Steam Machine.
Steam Machine. The Steam Machine. Valve did drop the prices. No, I don't mean drop as in like they made the prices lower. I mean they dropped the information about how much the price is going to be. They announced the prices.
Yeah.
And they are no joke.
Yeah. Do you have the breakdown?
I did, and then I closed my screen. Stand by. Let me get to it. It was $1,049 for the 512.
Yeah, 512 without a controller.
Without a controller. There
1,050.
Yeah. And the high end is $1,490 for the 2 terabytes with the controller.
Yeah.
Let me go. Let me get to it. I have it here. Oh, come on. Why can't I find it? Steam.
Oh yeah, AC said I play almost every day. It's procedural. Okay, that makes sense why it would last. And it fits in the corner when watching YouTube. Okay.
So the 512 is $1,049 with the controller not included. If you do want that 512 model bundled with the Steam controller, it's $1,128.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 terabyte base price is $1,349, and the 2 terabyte bundle with the controller is $1,428.
So the way the whole release system worked is they announced those 4 versions. And you could sign up for a wait list for one of those 4 versions or for all 4 of them, however many you wanted. And what they would do is after like 4 days, they took all those signups to the wait lists and they randomized the order. And that order then determines who gets in the reservation queue and who gets put on the wait list. But also, if you look into the details, how it worked is I signed up for the both versions with controller, the 500 gigabyte and the 2 terabyte version with controller. Those are the waitlists I signed up for.
Mm-hmm.
They will put me on either waitlist, but depending on the position of where I ended up, that's what kind of puts me in the reservation queue. So I got put in the reservation queue for the 500 gig version. But that means I'm taken off of the wait list for the 2 terabyte version.
Right.
So if whatever wait list gets you highest, that's the one that counts and you get removed from the others. So even if you signed up for all 4, that gives you a better chance of getting high on the list. But you get high on the list for that specific model, and then you get removed from all the others. So it's not like, oh, I'm gonna wait until my turn for the 2 terabyte comes around. That's not gonna happen. It's kind of take what you are given or take nothing at all.
Right. Now, I signed up for the 512 without the controller because I figured at some point I'll be able to get the controller. And
I think the controllers are back ordered into next year.
they are. They are. And one of these days, but it works with all controllers, so I'm not that concerned about
It does. Yeah.
And I did not want to take a chance on signing up for the 2 terabyte and the 512 and be stuck at the 2 terabyte. Because I really, really don't like the difference between $1,050 and $1,350. That's significant enough for me that it goes ouch.
Yeah.
And I can always get an external hard drive for less.
That's
I
true. You
can.
can get an external hard drive.
That's why it's like the large disc models are like, that's a luxury item to me
Yeah,
because I've got enough hard drives that I can plug into the back of that thing that I could have a petabyte of disk space if I wanted.
and it does have an SD card, and I've got a big ass SD card that I bought pre-Memory Crisis when I was fiddling with emulators, which holy shit, if I could go back in time, Nick, buy all of the SD cards that you can.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my other previous tech obsessives have kind of led me to, okay, 512 is not too bad, except for the fact that launching a video game console with 500 gigabytes of space is fucking insane. That's like 4 big budget games. Because a lot of AAA games are 130 gigabytes. That's nothing. So
it really is. It's very small. But by the same token, I don't have a bunch of games loaded onto my PC. I will have one large game. And when I run out of space on my PC, then I delete the game. And if I ever want to come back to that game, I just reload it. It's
yes,
not
but
like I lose the game or I lose my
no,
save.
but having to download 130 gigabytes, that takes a while. And having to constantly like mess around with that managing space, that's a frustration.
But that's not sort of how I end up playing my games.
That's how I do. I like having a bunch of different things installed and being able to jump between them.
Yes, and that's how I feel about the Xbox. I always have my Xbox maxed out. And also the PlayStation. Always have the disc on.
Yeah, well,
inevitably,
that's what
if you say, "Hey,
it's
let's
a
go play
console.
this," I'm gonna right, exactly. It's a console. It's supposed to be like you start it up and you start playing. So I just could not bring myself to buy another 500 or another $300, more than $300 for the 2 terabyte. Although that is a huge, huge amount of
Yeah,
space.
I
have
feel
those
like
discs. I can literally
there's
plug it into the back and have it sitting there waiting for me anyway. So it's problem solved.
there's absolutely a world where there's a 1 terabyte in between, because it really feels like you went from like
Yes.
really small to really big. Like
Yes.
Goldilocks is there's a Goldilocks zone here that
Right.
you are missing.
Yeah, it kind of is. Now, if
But
there'd been
I
1
imagine,
terabyte that was a
hardware
$150 difference, I would have done that. Yeah, absolutely.
hardware shortages meant that I'll bet that they took what they can get.
Right, right.
There's a lot of talk about that too. A Steam employee, no, a Valve employee was talking with Gamers Nexus about like the price and the memory, because some of these machines, the Steam machine has 16 gig of memory. Some of the machines will have 2 sticks of 8 gig or 1 stick of 16, because they were just like, we'll take what you can get.
Right.
And this employee was telling Gamers Nexus that they're talking with memory suppliers. They couldn't sign a contract with the memory suppliers because the price would change every month. So the suppliers would basically say, this is your price for the month, take it or we won't talk to you again.
Right, right,
It's
right.
it's a real fucking cartel out there.
Yeah, and the quote is, "Look, there's no contracts. There's nothing. Like these guys, they just give us a price every month or something and say, "You can buy that many," and it's yes or no. If we say no, they'll never talk to us again. So, it's almost like the
Oh,
Ram
my bad.
Mafia.
AC Wraith says they all have one stick right now. He misspoke and they clarified. They'll try
Oh,
for
okay, good to
two
know.
with later releases.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm happy with the one stick because I mean, realistically, I can get a second stick at a future point. If the 16 gigs is not enough, I can get a stick and fill the
Yeah.
second
I mean,
one.
the truth is 16 gig is enough for like a
Yeah,
vast majority of
right.
games. It's just it was more the matter of we can't get a standardized setup. So we're kind of working with what we
Just
got.
working
But
with
it
what we
sounds like
got.
for the first wave at least, they all have one stick of 16.
Okay, that's good. That's good to know. Um, and I would prefer to have the one stick of 16 than the two sticks of 8, to be honest. And so that actually makes me kind of happy that if I get it, that'll make me happier to spend the money that I really don't want to spend right now
You
when it
don't
comes
have to
available.
spend it.
I sort of kind of do. It makes it slightly more compelling to get that as a single stick of 16, knowing that if I wait and sometime down the line I'm end up with two sticks of 8, that I might have an issue with. So I'm not happy, but I don't think Valve is either. And I
No,
think that
no.
Valve has done you talk about crisis communication. Valve has done a surprisingly good job of being open and honest, or at least seemingly open and honest, with the media and therefore with consumers to kind of explain the situation that they're in and do it in a way that makes me not feel quite so upset about that price. Like Sony, they drop a price and like an insane price for a piece of machinery, and we lose our minds. Let's not forget the whole PlayStation, what was it, the PS3 debacle,
Hmm.
where they dropped that price and everybody said "fuck you" and walked out, pretty much.
And so there's like we think that people will want the PlayStation 3 enough that they'll get a second job for it.
Yeah, yeah, that is bad
Oh boy.
crisis
Oh,
communication.
oh boy. Those wonderful days when consoles were $600.
$600, I know.
Oh, can we return to those
That
times?
would be nice. But
Jesus.
but Valve has done a really good job in kind of explaining of we really, really, really don't want it to be this price. We're not subsidizing this like other companies are, which makes us, appreciate that they're not PlayStation, they're not Xbox, they're not going to be in the position to subsidize a machine.
I
And
Maynard reminding me of the PS3 reveal with the giant enemy crab and Ridge
Ridge
Racer.
Racer.
Um,
But
yeah,
yeah,
because they have
and
said, I
they
think in
said that
another
this is not
interview,
what they wanted.
they
This is not the price they wanted this to be at all,
yeah,
and it is not their fault.
in
And
another
they've
interview
made a
they
really
said
good
like,
job of letting us know and doing it in such a way that we actually believe them.
yeah, like what would you change about it? And they said, oh yeah, we wouldn't change anything except make it cheaper. We wouldn't do
Right.
that. And they had talked to IGN. They didn't give an original price, but the interview they gave with IGN was they kind of hinted that the original price was looking at to kind of match the Steam Deck, which would be around $750 to $800 as a base
Right.
price. Which,
Right.
given like the PS Pro launched at 750, and at that point, Sony and PlayStation were probably subsidizing some of the cost. That feels like a really realistic baseline. Okay, $800 for the base. Now it's 1,000 for the base.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that was 100% being reflected by the Rampocalypse. And we
Mm-hmm.
believe it, and we're not holding it against them. And interviews like with Gamers
I
Nexus
mean,
don't
I
make
do.
us angry at Valve. It makes us angry at the chip makers, which is where the anger should be.
It should be,
At the
but I also do
chip
think that
mafia.
a lot of the reviews of the Steam machine are kind of saying the same thing. This is a really impressive machine, not worth
Yeah,
$1,000, but
yeah.
really impressive machine. And so I do think, unfortunately, the console is getting dinged. Naturally, it's getting dinged for a price that they kind of didn't have any control over, and it's I imagine it's a frustrating situation of watching this going like, yeah, everyone's complaining about the same thing, so are we, but we can't do anything about it. We're not going to sit. We spent all the money getting these components. We can't sit on it for 5 years waiting for it to go down. And it's kind of, it's just the death of the consumer electronics market
Hmm.
and the slow pricing out of the average person for all of consumer electronics.
Yeah. And
Which is part of a larger story too, because Apple has raised the price on all of their products. They didn't raise it on the iPhones, but I'll bet when they announce new things in September, the price goes up. And everyone's freaking out about that, but I look at it going, yes,
why do you hate Apple so much?
wonderful. Not because I hate Apple, but because of all the tech companies, Apple has the war chest and the motivation to protect their consumers from the price increases for as long as they possibly can. If they're raising their prices, we are near the peak.
We've hit the wall.
We're like, oh, we're up here. You know what's going to happen next?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to the boom, which is why I'm like, yes, it sucks in the short term. Apple, yeah, raise the prices, but you know what that means? It means all these companies are about to get fucked. And I
Hmm.
love that. I'm looking forward to it. You even saw it on Thursday. If you're paying attention to the stock market, there's like a little hiccup where all of a sudden all the tech stocks went and
Hmm.
dropped a whole bunch because Micron announced that they were like changing how they made something, and that dropped everything. With SpaceX launching and then dropping and dropping and dropping, all of the hype is starting to fade. It is on the downturn. And
Hmm.
so that's why I'm excited. I'm happy to see. I think we've hit the peak and we're officially over it. Or we're at that turn. And unfortunately, that peak is where Valve decided to release a new video game console, which is
Yeah.
literally the worst possible time.
Yeah. Yeah. And but I don't know if that's going to be the peak or if that is going to be like a peak, like it's going to go down. It might just be a peak, and this is where it levels off for a good long time, and then slowly comes down.
It
That's
w-
what the chip makers want.
that's what they want,
I
but
think
all
that's
of
what's going to
all of
happen.
all of the chip demand is driven by AI, but all of the AI demand is also on the decline.
True. True.
AI is unprofitable, has a business, they
Hmm.
spend more than they bring in.
Hmm.
When they changed to token-based billing in the past couple months, a lot of businesses revolted and were like, this is way too fucking expensive. We need to cut back on our AI use. Cutting back on spending a technology that is already not bringing in enough profits, it is a downward spiral that will take OpenAI and Anthropic with it, and with it, the memory prices. I do believe I read something that Micron has locked in high memory prices to like 2030. They're signing long-term contracts because they know this downward spiral is going to hit. Um, and so, unfortunately, the memory prices might stay high for a while just because the contracts are locked in at the high
That's
prices.
what I mean is that it's a plateau. It's really
But
not a hit,
a
a peak.
company, a company that locks in those high prices can easily be undercut by another company locking it in slightly lower, which then motivates the other people to go slightly lower and slightly lower. And then that's how you get a steady decline.
Hmm. I'm when I think that the nail in the coffin, I think, is inevitable upon the IPO of OpenAI. Maybe not Anthropic.
OpenAI is not going to IPO.
Well, they've already announced that they're IPOing.
They've also announced that they're delaying it.
Oh, true. But that when that happens and it suffers the same fate as SpaceX, that the Sam Altman is going to be a trillionaire for a microsecond and then not. And you're going to start to see it go, oh, we're into this. And now we're not so into
It will
this.
be.
You're going to pass that hype cycle of the IPO.
It
Once
will
you're
be
past that,
WeWork.
it will be WeWork.
So okay, in the
I have
chat.
to step away. Keep talking. I have to step away.
Yes, there's a lot in the chat that I want to catch up on. Review teardowns. Okay, Andrew says, yeah, honestly though, their first price was too much. Really, you thought the 800 would be too much for it? Yeah, the timing sucks. Excuse me. Digital Foundry has a video about how to build your own Steam machine with 4 different configurations from budget to premium. That's a really cool video. Andrew, my only real issue with the Steam machine was them selling its performance doing 4K 60 with FSR when it really can't on some newer things. Yeah, I feel like video game companies have been selling hardware. It can do 4K 60 frames per second since the PS4, and none of them have been able to do it. There's just something about that resolution and that frame rate that is like, it's the peak of computing, essentially. None of the hardware, it couldn't do it when PlayStation 4 came out, can't do it when the PlayStation 5 comes out, and I doubt the PlayStation 6 will even be able to do it. Just because it seems no hardware can do it.
The check is in the mail. The check is in the mail. I promise I won't come in your mouth. And 4K 60 frames per second. The 3 big lies. Yes, I said it.
That's when Valve starts talking about coming in your mouth, then you know you've got a problem.
You definitely have a problem. In 60 frames per second in 4K.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 4K. You're gonna see all of it. High.
And you're gonna get that check in the mail because of it.
Of course, I would pay you to do it. Yes. AC Red says in-game chat keeps saying prices are going to get worse and people should buy now. I keep thinking it's not even an option. It's kind of not an option. When I got the PS Pro, I held on to the PS6. I've still got my base Xbox. I could sell those at a massive profit. Oh, why do you think they're called Valve?
Valve.
Hmm.
Yeah, Mei is offended. Mei is totally offended by that comment. Look, I'm sorry. I just channeled my inner Hawks. That was like I heard Nick say that, and I'm like, you know what Hawks would say right now.
Maynard also says that he made his own Steam machine, and you can see it in the Discord. The pictures look really cool. And it's impressively small because a lot of these build your own machines don't have the super tiny space that the Steam machine does. But the one he made is impressively small.
Now,
he also said, look what happened to Ford. They got rid of most of their R&D and went with AI. Most of the vehicles this year have the most recalls. They've had to hire senior R&D, a ton of money on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's 2 things that where was it? Oh, there's 2 things I wanted to bring up. So the first one was build your own Steam machine. You absolutely could, but I think that you are missing the point of why someone like me would rather spend more money and have the Steam machine. And that is where's my controller? Where'd my controller go? Right in front of me.
Yeah, you got the Steam machine without a controller, don't you remember?
Right. It's this right here. And you aren't going to be able to build this in. The fact that I can sit down, press that, it goes on, turns on my television, switches off of World Cup, and I'm in PlayStation. That is the difference between a console and a PC. And
And
that is
and
what a steam machine is.
yeah, and you
Ultimately,
can
that's what it
do
comes down
that.
to.
You can do that, but it just requires more work. It requires work of setting up the PC, of buying the components, putting them together, and then getting the correct settings. And it's just a matter of, do you want to spend the time to do that, or do you want to spend the money to do that? All of life, it's time versus money. Like, what is the balance that
Right.
comes out to between those?
You could program it to do that, Maynard says. This is
Is who I
why
should
you
want.
should always have a tech friend who knows what they're doing. Yeah, true.
And I will
But
say, with the Rogue Ally, which is basically, running Steam Big Picture on Windows,
mhm,
uh, I've set it up to hit the power button and it goes to sleep. I hit the power button, it boots right back into the game.
mhm,
Like
yeah,
like that. So, yes, it's possible. It's just a matter of, do you want to do all the fidgety work to set up for it? And
mhm,
I think that changes for person to person. I really enjoy doing the fidgety work, setting up my Odin emulator, because that was kind of part of the fun of it. It was downloading the emulators, testing it out with each game, getting it to run. Like, that was the fun of it. But that's also because those are all games that are hard to find now, right? I made that specifically to be like my own personal blockbuster video in a handheld device. The Steam Machine is kind of a different beast in my mind. It's a console that I just want to sit back and play games on, and so I don't want to put in that effort to, build it all
mhm,
out. Especially because when you look at all the build your own Steam machines, yes, the price comes down to cheaper, but it's
mhm.
like a couple $100 cheaper.
Right.
And yes, it's more powerful, but it's like just a little bit more powerful. And it's like, well, I'll just spend the extra $200 to have the tiny ass little box that works out of the box. And for me, and especially for my use case, I don't need the extra power because I'll use it as mainly like double A to indie gaming machine to replace my Xbox, basically. Uh, and it's a time versus money situation. And in this case, I think all of it's more expensive. Like, all of it is really still more expensive. Like, you're still paying a lot for memory and hard drives, but it's
Yeah.
just, I'll pay the extra $200 to not have to spend 2 weeks putting it all together.
I have had
But if you enjoy putting it together, there's absolutely no reason not to do that. Like, if that's fun, like with my Odin handheld emulators, if that's part of the fun of it, then by all means do that, because you can. And
this
Valve, to
this
its
is
credit,
this is
has created an ecosystem that does allow you to do that. They don't care if you buy the Steam machine, because even if you build your own, you're still going to be using Steam.
this this argument is exactly why Apple exists. Because PCs are those machines that you have to fiddle around with and you have to just you got to do the setting and you got to know and then to set up the printer and then you have to tell that you have multiple monitors and then you're constantly fidgeting with the fucking thing. Apple, you plug it in, you turn it on and it works. You pay a premium for that. For a less powerful machine that looks good, feels good, and plugs in and works. That is what the entire business model is and why they are still around today. And as much as you enjoy fiddling around with stuff, and don't get me wrong, I love my PC. If I have to buy a computer, I'm going to buy a PC. That being said, I fucking hate the fact that the PC can go off on its own and break inside its head somewhere because some fucking setting happened. The BIOS needed to be updated or something. And if you don't know what's wrong with it, you'd have to take it to a guy who does boop, click, click, click. Okay, that's $700. Thanks very much. No, 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 no. I hate that.
Thanks, Windows.
Yeah, thanks, Windows. I I love Windows. There's a lot about it I really, really like, but you have to really want to like it. Whereas Apple, if you just want a fucking nice box that you stick and plug into your monitor and it works, that's what you have. You hit a button, it says, "Hi, we're going to set up your machine. What's your name? What's your Apple profile?" You're done. Do you want us to transfer your old data into your new machine? Yes? Cool. Okay, done. You can start.
And see, there is there's a benefit to both. We need both because
Mhm.
I really like my iPhone. I think it's a lot easier to use than an Android. The Odin handheld is an Android. It's basically an Android phone with controllers on it because
Mhm.
all of those emulators can run on Android because Apple won't allow them on iOS. You need the open platform to to exist as an alternative. I can't have my emulator handheld without an open platform like Android.
Right.
We need Windows to exist as an
We
open
need
platform.
Windows to exist. But we also need Apple to exist as well. To
We need
remind
both
us
of them.
that yes, they have to live in the same world.
Oh,
And
and Maynard makes a
that
good.
is what this is that I can just see myself trying to save a couple $100 or maybe more, maybe 3, 400, $500, make my own machine, probably do it wrong, have to crack it back open, do something else, then have something break or wear out or some setting is wrong and it doesn't work. I'm case in point. The boyfriend has 2 PCs. They're identical. He built both with the top end of everything in it a few years ago. One of them is in his office, one of them is in his bedroom. The one in the office I don't use because usually the girl child is either playing on it or I just don't like messing with this office computer because that's also where the work computer is. And I just don't like the idea of me being in there. I use the one in the bedroom. There is some fucking setting wrong in that fucking computer. And I don't know what it is, but I can't launch most games on it. And I keep saying, Crusader Kings, I will leave it for 30 minutes and it will not launch. It takes 3 minutes on my laptop. There is something wrong here.
Can he
And I
play games
know,
on it?
well, no, he doesn't play games on it. He plays it on his other machine. They're identical. There is some fucking setting
Oh,
wrong in his fucking
then what does the
bedroom.
bedroom computer get used for?
Pretty much me.
Yeah, it's just
Me.
you banging your head against the wall trying to launch a game.
Right. And me going and he, like we were playing Diablo and he's like, "Why are you taking so long to get in?" "It's because of your computer." And he's like, "Okay, well let me bring up PC Lasso and make some adjustments." And it doesn't fix anything. And it's like it's infuriating to me because I don't even know where to begin.
Oh, that's where the mouthful comes in.
Yeah. And I could just see that happening for me, that something goes wrong or something goes out of date or no, I will eventually end up spending, when you count in the time, when you count in the warranties, when you count in the potential breakage with absolutely no solution or solve anywhere in the world that is going to help me, I'm going to have to learn to figure out what the fuck is wrong with this thing. I just rather spend the extra money and get it from Steam. I just rather Apple the fuck out of this, spend the extra money, spend it for the premium so that they ship it to me. So I just plug it in and it works. And if it stops working, I send it back to them and they fix it.
If it stops working, they're not going to send you another one. That other one doesn't
No,
exist.
no, but if it stops working, it's their fault, not mine, because I didn't build it. I didn't make any
Yeah.
adjustments. I didn't make any changes. It comes to me done right the first time. And nobody's gonna
Andrew
mess with it.
Andrew says, "Just tag me and Edie. I'll help."
No, no, I don't. I don't want this. I don't want to
And
have to tag in someone at 2 o'clock in the morning because something won't load.
Maynard also made a good point that Linux is getting better and better like that, following the ideas of Apple.
And
Which, yeah, Steam
this
Machine
I do
runs
know.
Linux. So yeah.
But I don't. But that means I have to learn Linux, and I don't want to learn Linux. I want to learn Crusader Kings. You get one. You get one. I got Crusader Kings, and That's it.
I mean, in theory, you wouldn't have
We're
to
full.
learn Linux. It will just exist in
We're
the background.
512. We're 512, not 2 terabytes up in here. You get
You
one
are.
game. You get
You
one
are.
game. And I
I'm
really don't
I'm
want
two
to erase
terabytes.
Crusader. You're 2
I'm
terabytes.
I'm 4 terabytes.
Right. I'm 512. You get one big program. For right now, my goal is getting Crusader Kings back. After that, I core dump all of everything else. So I don't want to core dump Crusader Kings just so I can learn Linux.
Like
Because when I go back to Crusader Kings, guess what I'm gonna erase?
like Homer Simpson once said, every time I learn something new, it pushes something old out of my brain.
Yes, that is a fact for me. The struggle is real for me on that.
Okay. Final point. Maynard says, I experienced Apple products for the first time finally about a month ago. Found up to what's it? Found up with a $50
Mac
iMac
G5.
G5. Pretty fun to play old games on a Power PC.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I will say, I like my iPhone. I have been completely biased against Mac computers because in elementary school, we had a Mac computer to play games, and had the mouse with only one button.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
the mouse,
tried
the
playing
mice.
games with the one button mouse on my elementary school's public computer. And I was like, this fucking sucks. And I've been biased against Mac computers ever since, even as I use my iPhone.
Mm-hmm. I'm I think that we can all agree Apple has never made a good mouse. Not once.
Okay. Okay. I can go with that.
Yeah, yeah. That that whole mouse situation is just an absolute dumpster fire and has been from day one.
Nick over here playing Zoom beanies and kid pics. No, it was like a helicopter game. It was like a helicopter flying through a city and you had to shoot people.
Oh, yes. What was that? Was it
I have no
Chopper? I
idea
want
what
to
it
say
was
it was
called.
Chopper.
It could be. I don't remember
Maynard
at
knows.
all.
Maynard knows what it is.
That game Chopper.
Yeah, and you had to
No,
like
it
go
wasn't
out and then you had
Chopper.
to come back and then you'd have to land on the pad.
No, it was 3D. Chopper looks like it's 2D.
Yeah, that was the 2D one. Well, that says how long ago I've been playing. He says, I'll
Chopper
find out.
3D.
He's on it. Now, the other thing that I said, the two things I wanted to bring up was
Oh
one
yeah.
was that. The second one was Maynard's comment about look what happened to Ford. They got rid of R&D and went with AI. Most of the vehicles for this year have the most recalls. They had to rehire senior R&D and spend a ton of money on it. So I was having an interesting conversation yesterday with a whole room full of people from the game industry, various parts of the game industry. And this was a friend of mine. Uh, he designs games and other things, and he invited us over for a very special event to kind of get our input on the latest thing he's working on. And in the conversation about what he did in his project, as conversations do, it evolved into a conversation about AI. And he said, I used AI in this, but one of the things that I found really interesting in using it is that I would tell it I wanted something and it would come back to me with it like information. He was having it write a script. It would come back to me with the lines from the script and I'd be like, no, 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 this is wrong. This is wrong. And it was using what that did wrong to get where he wanted to be that was right. And I said that, in a lot of ways, because I noted this is what is being used for in games with coding, where it's writing stuff, but you still have to review it. And sometimes what it's doing is a completely wrong way of doing it, so that it's like, okay, that was the wrong way of doing it. It needs to be done this way. I think generative AI is really not only the wrong way thing to call AI for what its good use is. I think it is also an inaccurate way of describing of where it is in this world at the moment, and probably what it will be in the future. It's not generative AI, it's assistive AI. It's not meant to
Ooh, that's
be,
a
and it
good
shouldn't.
marketing term.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
OpenAI just needs to
Sorry.
stop paying you for that. Oh my god, how did they
It's
not
not.
use that to begin with?
Yeah. Yeah. It's not really necessarily going to, hey, write this game for me, and it writes the game, and then you ship it out. You tell it what you want. It gives you something that it approximates what you want. You need to review it and improve on it or decide that it's right or wrong. But in that process of deciding whether something is right or wrong, even if it gives you something wrong, it helps you reframe in your head the right way to do it. And that is what it's being used now. And I had this conversation again, bringing up that conversation, had this conversation last night when I was going through a Carl's Jr. drive-through.
Okay.
And and the boyfriend mentioned it's like, it's going to be because you go through drive-through now and it's AI that's greeting you. Hi, thank you for Carl's Jr. Would you like to try our Western bacon burger? No. What can we help you with today? Pickup order for Edie. Please drive through the window. So I never actually have an interaction with a human being all the way up into the window, and the
Oh,
guy
that
just
doesn't.
hands me the food.
Whenever I go to a drive-through now, like Jack in the Box, late at night, the AI will very loudly shout at me, "Hi, welcome to," and then we'll stop and someone will come on and go, "Hey, what can I get you? What do you want?" But there's always that like burst of shouting at me. I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's loud.
Yeah. But it's and he's and the boyfriend said, "Hey,
Why
one
is
of
it?
these
Why is it
days you're just
bleak?
going to have AI robots in there making your burgers." I go, "Yeah, but they're going to be
I
making the
don't.
burgers wrong." He goes,
But
"Yeah,
see,
that's right.
okay, okay.
But that's wait. But that's why you're going to have people there to review the orders to make sure that they're right." And it's like that's what I meant by assistive AI, not generative AI. You cannot just make an all robot restaurant. You can
Yeah,
cut
can I have
down
like
the amount of
5,000
people.
cups of water?
Yeah, exactly. you can you can you're going to instead of having a shift of 7 people, you will have a shift of 2 people. That is a good use. Now, that's terrible for the workforce. Horrible for the white collar workforce that have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars and are in hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt to get their degrees for jobs that there's going to be less than 50% of those jobs available in the next few years. But if we're and AI companies are selling AI as if it's going to replace everybody. It's not going to replace everybody. It can't replace everybody. It's not generative. It is assistive. It is a
Okay,
tool that works with humans to make everything happen faster.
so
And
okay, I
focus down your creative process so that you can get to where you want to be quicker instead of trying to figure out the new, oh, how do I want to do this, how do I want to do this. Gives you something to start with that's either right or wrong, and if it's right you can keep building on that yourself or building on it collaboratively with the AI. And if it's wrong, it helps frame where right is.
okay, but I think the problem with a lot of discussions about AI is because when you talk about what it can do, oh,
Hmm.
AI will take over making the hamburgers and people will assist it. You don't actually need AI to do that. You can do that right now. It's called an assembly line.
Right.
And when you have a fixed menu, like a fast food restaurant, you can absolutely create an assembly line that will just bunch of stupid robots slapping a patty, grilling it for 50 seconds, and then sliding it off with no risk of hallucinations.
Right.
The technology exists to do exactly that better and more efficiently without AI.
Yeah.
So then
Yeah.
what the fuck would I use AI? The thing driving AI is not its efficiency or its capabilities, it's marketing. That's
Hmm.
all it is. It's marketing telling you that AI can do something you can already do. It it's the time and effort. I could create a self-sustaining assembly line fast food restaurant, or I could just have AI make my fast food restaurant. I'll spend more money on the AI, but it'll get me there close enough in faster time. Except that A, it won't, and it will hallucinate and it will be problematic. And eventually you'll switch back to using people and wish that you had just made that assembly line to begin with.
Right. Well,
That's the problem.
we're talking about in creative spaces or in highly complex spaces like AI for taxis. It works. It
Except when it
works
drives off
and
a
it
cliff.
works.
Or except when it drives through somebody's house.
Okay,
Like a robo
yes.
taxi did. Hey,
But humans
every
do
now
that
and then.
way more.
But
Humans have been
isn't the
driving through
selling
people's
point
houses since the day that humans got behind a wheel. We do that way more.
but isn't the
That's number one.
selling
Number
point
two
of the
is
technology is that it's supposed to be better? If the
it
technology
is
is
better.
just as good as a person, why not just use a
It
person? Because you know what? Human labor is embarrassingly cheap. That's the dirty truth to all of this is that,
right.
oh, we're going to spend all this money on AI to replace people. Man, it turns out people are fucking cheap.
Okay, it is better. And here's why. Will it make mistakes? Yes. Will those mistakes be pumped out to every single AI robotic driver as a patch instantly and everybody gets the message and doesn't violate it again? How long have we had to explain to people you shouldn't drink before you get behind a wheel? And how many people still fucking do it because they all think,
Hmm.
I drive drunk great? How many people die because somebody does something they know they shouldn't be doing? You should not go 45 or 50 in a 25-mile-an-hour zone. But people do it because they think that they're smarter. AI doesn't question it. When it makes a mistake, you send out that patch, and every single
That's
driver
actually
gets
literally
the
not true.
message.
That's literally not true. AI will
What?
say, AI would drive through a wall, and you'd be like, "You drove through a wall." No, I didn't.
That's not, no, no,
Like
don't do that.
that's that's
You're
how it
wrong in this
works.
one. This is verifiable. They've actually done studies about the amount of deaths that occur in with real drivers versus, and I'm not talking about overall deaths. I'm talking about per capita,
Mhm.
doing the calculation so it's like incidences per drive, incidences per mile. AI drivers, Waymos, Zooks, all of them, they're so much safer that I actually was listening to a podcast from NPR podcast called wasn't Freakonomics. It wasn't The Moth. It was one of those other NPR shows that
I don't know.
um, actually I think it wasn't Planet Money. I think it was Marketplace that they were talking to a physician who was like, we need to stop looking at driving and AI drivers as a workplace, AI issue. This is a public health issue. Way more people are dying in cars driven by human beings. And I'm not talking about overall, I'm talking about per mile than robotics. And when robotics does something or an AI does something dumb because it's like, oh shit, we forgot to program that in, they program it in and they send it to all the drivers and they stop doing it. That doesn't happen with the general public. And it's costing
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands of lives every single year with things that could be solved if all of those drivers had been AI drivers, if all of
I
those
guess
things had been Waymos.
what I want to know
Hmm.
is AI doing something fundamentally, functionally more advanced than what a general machine learning capability can do? Do you need an LLM to do that? Or can you just teach a computer to do that? Because
See, that's,
AI,
yeah,
AI is a big,
because
broad term.
LLM,
It means a lot of stuff. When we talk about AI and generative AI, we generally mean LLMs. But
yeah.
AI is different. All computers have AI. All video
Yeah,
games
yeah,
have
true,
AI.
true.
Like it, yeah. Your Chris works on AI, but he's not working with an LLM. He's creating a system that governs how an NPC will react to the world. That's AI, but it's not LLM.
But LLMs allow humans to interact with the AI in a natural language way, and it allows
So then
the
is that what
AI
we
to
need? We just need
learn from
We just need
us.
natural language interface for machine learning.
That's what an LLM is. That's
No,
all an
that's
LLM
not.
is.
No, it's not. The LLM is the entire training of data that you are then using a natural language interface
It
to
goes back and
access
forth,
all
right?
of that
It goes
data.
two ways. It goes two ways. Us being able to communicate with them in a certain way, and them being able to learn to communicate with us in a certain way,
Yeah.
and learn from us in our systems to get better. I I am not an AI apologist. I am not an LLM apologist, but I think that I think it is just as dangerous to demonize, and I understand why we'd want to demonize AI, and we want to demonize generative AI specifically, simply because we want this bubble to crash. The sooner that it happens, the better it is for everybody. But we also should, in a very clear-eyed and rational way, be viewing what that tool is in a way that actually is helping us, and that is
Yes,
in
that's
the
true.
assistive way. It's not going to replace humans.
The,
It's
but
going to
but
make jobs much more hard to get and keep, which isn't a good thing. Agreed. But they said that
the
about
problem
robotics when making
but
cars.
the
And I'm not
problem
saying
with
it wasn't
LLMs.
devastating to the car industry, devastating to places like Detroit. It was. And have they bounced back? Absolutely not. But that is their role, and that's where they're going to be. They're
And
not going to
that's
be getting rid of humans.
and
It's
that's
not
a
Skynet.
that's an okay role, but the technology is fundamentally too expensive to be supported
Right.
by that assistive role. If that's all AI is used for,
Yeah.
LLMs fail as a technology because it won't be adopted because it will be too expensive. And if
they're
it's too
selling it
expensive,
as
nobody will use it. And so all of those assistive purposes will go away.
right. And
Like it
both
work
sides are
for those
working
use
on
cases.
levels of hyperbole that it's going to replace humans and we don't need humans to do anything about our, R&D of our auto plants. No. We can't have generative AI for absolutely anything. Everything is awful. You can't use generative AI for anything to do with creative. Heaven forbid you actually use it to help you to make a video game. Fuck you guys, you suck. That's the
Well,
other side.
the
It's
problem is
just the
that
two
the
sides of that
problem,
hyperbolic coin.
but they're not the two sides because you shouldn't use AI in your workflows to make a video game because if the technology is fundamentally too expensive to use and it goes away, then your workflows get fucked. I
Okay.
use AI in my workflow for writing patch notes.
Right?
The other week, when all the prices went up, company decided, we're going to rethink this. Stop.
Really?
All of a sudden, my whole workflow of using AI to write these notes, gone.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what the fuck do I do now? And I had to finagle away, go back to what I was doing 5 years ago. And you can see a difference of like, oh, here's an AI summary that's got some detail because it was pulling from all these different sources. I pull from one source. So it's like, yeah, here's a sentence and a sentence and a sentence because that's all you fucking get because the workflow was reliant on AI and then AI disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
It's now back, but for how long?
Right.
So
Right.
all those people going, don't use AI, don't use AI, don't use AI. Don't using AI is future proofing your workflow. That's
true.
That's the truth.
That is absolutely true. In fact, I had that exact conversation again with the boyfriend about like that's like saying, if we lose the ability to do things without AI, what happens when AI isn't there? It's kind of like saying I don't need to learn how to write freehand because I've got a laptop.
There's
What happens if the electricity goes out and you need to write a note? Then you are functionally illiterate and then you are a liability to everything and
I've
everyone around you.
I've seen stories that a lot of younger generations
Don't know
are
how to write cursive.
worse. No, you don't have to learn cursive. Fuck cursive. Cursive's pointless.
Cursive's
I'm
great.
I'm anti-cursive. Fuck that shit. No, they don't know. They're bad at troubleshooting computers because they've grown up with an iPhone and an Android where everything is surfaced right there. They don't know how to get into the back end to troubleshoot. They don't know how to navigate a file hierarchy system like File Explorer because they've never had to.
Right. Oh, if YouTube didn't exist, I would be in a very bad place as being an director of operations because I can't tell you how many times I have had to go to YouTube. It's like, hey, can you do this? Sure. How do I do this? And watch like 6 or 7 videos of how to do this. Okay, that's how you do it. Cool. All right, and then I can do it.
Yeah.
If YouTube goes down, I'm screwed because I will not be able to do half the things that I say that I can do. It's assistive, it's not generative. YouTube cannot replace me. The some data of out there that is YouTube could absolutely replace me, but YouTube can't replace me.
Yeah.
And it is the thing that I need in order to do my work. I'm
Anyways,
I'm less pessimistic about the future, but I agree that there is a bubble that is being created by investors to try to sell businesses the red pill that this is going to fix all of their problems and they can slash jobs and turn everything automated. That is an absolute lie that is being perpetuated by the likes of Sam Altman.
So yeah, AC Wraith.
And that can't end
long
soon
ago,
enough.
AC Wraith, like 10 minutes ago, said field-specific AI to focus human experts doesn't bother me. However, I think that could be run on site without the home of data centers.
True.
The future of AI is smaller scale LLMs that can run like on a computer that don't require, 20,000 gigawatts, that don't require a data center the size of Manhattan to run. Don't worry, AI searches will summarize the YouTube tutorials so they don't get any views. Anyways,
yeah, I mean that already happens with Google.
What else
How
happened?
many times have I relied upon Google's AI to give me the answer rather than going to YouTube? Happens a lot.
Okay.
Also, it's giving me wrong answers.
Yeah, I was gonna say Crimson Desert. There's a lot of stuff I look up in Crimson Desert. How do I get this? How do I get this? YouTube's the AI summary always pops up. Oh, go here. Okay, I go there. What the? It's not here. What the fuck do I do next? Okay, fine. Click the link. See here. Go here. Then go here.
Yeah.
Thank you, website. Thank you, game8.com.
Yeah, check your sources.
I've used that a lot.
Check your sources.
Anyways, did anything else happen?
Yes, other things happen. Let's talk about let's see, we talked about that. Okay, let's talk about GTA 6.
GTA 6 got announced.
Well,
it's actually coming out. The price got announced. And you know what? You know what? There's a lot of controversy over all of this. Maybe people will get upset. I think this is quite possibly the best case realistic scenario for what the price could have been.
Yep. So the GTA 6 is going to be $80 for
Google I can't even get the game right half the time.
True. So yeah, $80 for the price of the game. That is the actual basic price.
That's just the game.
$100 for the premium edition, which has all of the bells and whistles that go with it, including, cosmetics and stuff like that. I don't really understand the anger about that, but there's a lot of anger about that and anger about the fact that even if you buy a quote unquote physical copy on release, it will not have a disc. It will have a code.
That is a bigger issue, I think. And I can get into that later. I think the $80 price point, that's pretty good. It's not the first game to do that. Mario World did that.
Borderlands did that.
Did it?
Yeah, I think Borderlands, wasn't it $80 or was it $70?
I think it was $70. I think it tried to be $80 and then they walked it back. Like Outer Worlds.
Canada scores.
Hey,
Canada scores in the, I can't see, they don't have, oh, that's the final. Oh, I missed a score. Well, must have been in the bathroom when it happened. Yeah, Canada won. So Canada moves on. South Africa is eliminated.
But yeah, Outer Worlds 2 tried to be 80. They walked it back. I think Borderlands tried to be 80, walked it back. GTA 6 being 80, I don't think that will create a new spur of $80 games because if you price your game at 80, you're comparing it to GTA 6, which is like everyone will ask, is your game GTA 6?
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
not a comparison a lot of people want to make. So I think that's good. The price difference between this and the Ultimate Edition, a lot of people are angry at the Ultimate because it locks a lot of cosmetics behind it. There's a bunch of shops. There's a mod shop, a tattoo shop, a bunch of clothing shops, and a couple vehicles that are locked behind the special edition, the Ultimate Edition. And the truth is, it's a lot of cosmetics. And like, especially if you look at Assassin's Creed or any Ubisoft game that regularly has a base game and then multiple special editions,
Right.
it comes with GTA 6 is coming with way more cosmetics in that Ultimate Edition than any Ubisoft game. And that's where a lot of the anger comes from, because it's like, this is a lot of content you're locking away. And I think it's a self-inflicted wound from Rockstar, because I think the truth of it is, if you just get the base game, you're not even going to know all that other stuff exists. The base game is going to be big enough. There's going to be so many more cosmetics that you won't know what you're missing. Because Red Dead 2 had a bunch of content that was locked away in special editions. You probably didn't even realize what you were missing because that game was gigantic with a bunch of side stuff and cosmetics. But we don't know that for GTA 6 because we don't know what's in GTA 6. So people are just comparing this base and ultimate difference to other games. And compared to other games, this does look like a lot of more content than usual, but it exists as a scale. Yes, this is more content than what Assassin's Creed Shadows locked behind, but the base game of GTA 6 is also going to have a lot more content than AC6 Shadows. But we don't know that because Rockstar won't tell us any fucking thing about GTA 6. So I do think a lot of the anger over that difference is overblown, but I understand where it's coming from, and I can't sympathize with Rockstar because it's really just, it's like I said, it's a self-inflicted wound that they did because of their bizarre refusal to talk about the game that they're shipping in 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
They they didn't even put out a new trailer with this pre-order announcement and price announcement. Like, this has to be one of the most least talked about anticipated games ever. We've seen more from like Onimusha than we have of GTA 6.
Mm-hmm. But two things. One is I think that some of the frustration is being perpetuated by the idea that you would have entire shops being unlocked instead of just cosmetics.
But
If it had
again,
just
you
said
won't
cosmetics
know
were
that shop exists.
right, right, you won't know, but you will know now, and you don't like the idea that somebody else might have a door that
It's
works that you
FOMO.
don't.
It's
It is
FOMO,
FOMO.
which is exactly what it is. It's FOMO, and that's why they won't tell you. Yeah, we're locking like 5 shops worth of cosmetics behind the special edition. There's going to be 50 shops in the game, but
Yeah,
they don't want to tell you that because
yeah.
then you won't have the FOMO, and then you won't upgrade. It's manipulative. It's like it's playing off people's fears. Um, but like, look, man, just save your money, buy the base game, because the truth is, you should save that $20 for when GTA Online comes out. Because
Mhm.
I'm willing to bet that is going to be a paid extra mode.
Yeah, yeah, probably is. And the other thing is that they don't have to say anything because it won't matter. It's
Yes.
GTA really is in its own category of games. You cannot compare it to something like Onimusha. You cannot compare it to even compare it to Call of Duty. It is its own thing. It has its own rules. And you could just say nothing and it will still sell a record amount of pre-orders, which it has. It already has broken records for pre-orders for both PS5 and Xbox, even without knowing what's in it. They Why do something that you don't want? Because all it's going to do is cause people to be upset. They just announced a price that honestly sounds very reasonable to me, and still people are pissed off. So why piss off people? Why start more controversy? Just don't say anything. Just let the
It
game
reminds me
let it stand for itself. It's gonna sell. It's fine.
it reminds me years and years and years ago when The
Hmm.
Force Awakens was about to come out. I saw someone wrote an article online, and this was like the week before the movie came out. And I don't even remember who wrote it, but they were said like sit in this moment. Oh, the prequels came out. Everyone fucking hated the prequels. Lucas sold Star Wars to Disney. They gave it to J.J. Abrams, who's coming off like some good hits. People were excited. The trailers looked good. It was Star Wars with like a super high budget, realistic special effects that people have wanted. He's like, at this moment, a week before the movie comes out, it's perfect. It is a perfect movie in your head. It is everything you've ever wanted. Like, appreciate this moment of excitement. Flash forward 20 years, people don't feel the same way. But I always remember that moment of in this moment before it comes out, before it's tarnished by the dirty, ugly reality of life. It's like, oh, it can be
This
anything you want.
the perfect
It's
movie.
everything you want. And right now, GTA 6 is the perfect game. It's everything you want. So I do understand them not wanting to say anything because
Why?
anything they say
It's a perfect game. It's
tarnishes
the
it.
greatest game ever made right now. The
Yes.
greatest game
Not a single
ever made.
flaw.
Not a damn one thing wrong with it. It is a perfect game right now. Yeah,
So
and that's where
yeah.
we're at. Now let's get on to the physical disc
Man,
versus
I remember
non.
when GTA was just a little game I used to make blood donuts in.
Yeah,
And
me
Bitter
too.
says, I haven't played one since Vice City.
You really missed out. They're pretty fantastic. GTA 3, that was the one with Nico Bellic.
No,
Yeah,
that's 4.
I was 4. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game was
They're good. They're good games. Like, look, I'm not gonna hype it up. They're
mind-blowingly
not
good.
masterpieces. They're a little overlong. Like the stories are a little confusing. Um, they go
It's
on
an
for a little too
epic
long.
poem. It's an
But like,
epic
they're
poem.
good. They're really good. They're
Mhm.
high quality shit.
And yeah, well, let's talk about the physical disc versus the
Okay, so
code only
my problem
discs.
with the discs is that in a completely unrelated story, GTA 6 won't have physical editions. In other news, Sony is removing access to 550 movies from users' digital libraries
Mhm.
because there's a license disagreement with Studio Canal. And so any Studio Canal movies that you may have bought on a Sony service is getting removed.
Mhm.
Did you buy the movie? No, you didn't. Fuck you.
Yeah.
That's my issue with the not having a physical disc is that most of what I buy is digital. I have shifted over like 90%.
Mhm.
But just because you don't use it doesn't mean it shouldn't exist. Like physical access still needs to exist. Um on Remap Radio, one of the hosts was talking about these F1 games that he really likes. Those games are no longer available on digital services. You can't buy like F1 2019 or something. I went out and bought the disc just so I could have the game to go and play it later.
Mhm.
Um and like you need that option. Yes, 90% of the people and 90% of the time it won't be an issue. But you just need to have that option there for when it does become an issue.
Mhm.
Because I guarantee you, like we see with Sony in the movies, if you don't have the option of physical, you will get fucked.
Mhm.
You absolutely will. The guaranteed eventually it will all come apart. You will lose access to everything because of a license disagreement.
Yeah,
And you have to be okay with that.
and keep in mind, they're not saying you won't ever have a physical copy. It's just they won't have a physical copy at launch. They don't anticipate physical copies until the beginning of the new year.
Yes. And I think what's also a little annoying about this is because they're not doing this to save money. because they still have boxes that they will put in stores, but those boxes will just contain download codes. This is Rockstar being like sociopathically opposed to leaks and spoilers. That's all it is. Even though anyone who breaks a street date to get this early, like that's not going to affect sales.
Mm-hmm.
But
AC
Rockstar
Ray,
is paranoid to a level that no other video game publisher or developer is.
and rightly so, because like no other video game or publisher, anybody that gets any single dingle leak, it's going to go absolutely nuclear. AC Ray says, Frill, physical trash, and the whole physical movement. Back up your crap and support services that let you back up your crap.
Yes, that's true. But also, like, physical stuff is good. I like physical stuff. I buy a lot of physical comics and digital comics, but I like my physical comics.
Now, the issue with a code only and no physical games is having a bit of a fallout with retailers. Apparently, there are two retailers who have said they will not be selling GTA 6. Despite the fact that it is one of the biggest launches in entertainment history, they will not carry GTA 6 because there is no physical disc option. Video Games Plus, which is a North American chain, it's been around for about 30 years. They say, quote, for 40 years, VGP has been committed to supporting physical media and preserving the value of physical game ownership. As part of that commitment, our company policy is that we do not carry physical products for video game consoles that contain only a digital download code. Based on the information currently available, the physical release of Grand Theft Auto 6 for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X is expected to be a code in-box product. As a result, VGP will not be offering it for sale unless our current company under our current company policy. Lootbox Gaming, which is another video game retailer that is focused on physical media, has also revealed it will not be selling GTA
Why
6
would you name
upon
your
release.
store Lootbox Gaming?
Lootbox Gaming? He says, this is from Lootbox Gaming, we're closely following the GTA physical release situation over the next 24 hours. We've yet to receive full details on our end, but assuming the information about it being a code in a box is true, we will not be supporting the release of GTA 6. When we started LGB, it was out of our love for our favorite form of media, gaming, as well as the preservation of said media. If a product can't honor the people who pay their hard-earned money to purchase it, then we have no business trying to sell it to our customers, whom we value above everything else. So, two retailers
I get that.
that have a stated principle of supporting physical media will not be participating in the release.
They're
As I
also
said, it's not like they're never going to sell it. They will sell it once the discs are available.
yeah. They're also very small stores.
They're small stores, yeah, which kind of sucks for them because, of course, they're missing out on lots and lots and lots and lots of money. But, um, you know, it's coming out in mid-November. They said that the physical copies are going to be out in December or January. So it's not like it's a huge gap. That first
It's
month
just a
obviously
matter
is
of
going to be
spoiler
big.
control.
It's about spoiler control. Do I blame them? No. Does it suck? Yes. Whose fault is it? Fucking people who spoil shit. That's whose fault it is. Don't be mad at Rockstar. Don't be mad at them. Be mad at the people who spoil shit on the internet. That's why you
Also,
don't have a physical disc,
like,
fuckers.
people, spoilers don't really exist.
They really don't.
They don't. Like, if someone tells you how a story ends, that doesn't really matter. Like, you can still enjoy it. A well-told story is a well-told story, even if you know how it ends. AC Wraith is dragging me, saying the rest of us should not have to pay for the damage you do to the planet with your luxury fandom trash. Hey,
I'm
fair,
looking up.
but like, I'm still gonna buy. I'm gonna buy a bunch of trade paperbacks, and if I like the comic, I'll give those to like a used bookstore, and I'll buy like a big, nice hardcover omnibus. So like, I'm making even more trash.
So, Downton Abbey,
Yeah.
Matthew Crawley dies. On the day of the birth of his son, he gets killed in a car accident. Now, does that make you want to come back to that show?
If you can get that far into the show in the first place, you'll probably keep watching.
Right. Even if you know Matthew Crawley's going to die, even if you know the manner in which he dies, you're still going to want to watch the show, right?
Okay, also, I can't get over that name Crawley. Every time they say that, I feel like they're talking about a serial killer in a teen slasher movie. Matthew Crawley sounds like he should be killing people.
He does.
There must be some serial killer with a name similar because it hits some point in my brain that's like, oh
Interesting.
yeah, he's a serial killer.
I don't. I never got that.
It's not Jason Voorhees, it's not Freddy Krueger, it's not
Can anybody
it's not any of the
elucidate
three big ones. What
how
is
that might be
Crawley?
Don't know. You're looking up serial killer Crawley, aren't
I'm
you?
looking up Crawley serial killer. No.
I have no
Crawley
idea where you're getting that from.
Slasher movie.
But
Victor Crawley was the killer in Hatchet, which was like a series of low budget slasher flicks.
Okay, well that's your fault for watching low budget slasher flicks.
It's Crowley.
Mm-hmm.
Crowley.
And Matthew Crawley is Crawley.
Yeah.
Well,
anyways,
no matter what, there's no such thing as spoilers. But even so, Rockstar is concerned.
Yeah.
Things will get spoiled by a physical disc being the issue. So don't blame Rockstar for responding to people who like to spoil shit. Be mad at the people that spoiled shit. This is why we can't have nice physical things.
We can still blame Rockstar.
Sure, but it's misplaced.
Yeah.
That's blaming.
They can take it.
That's blaming
they can
the victim.
take it.
That's
they don't care.
Victim blaming.
If Rockstar's the victim,
in this case,
absolutely, then I support victim blaming.
Anyway, so this is going to be a really expensive year for me, depending on when those. Did they have a date when the Steam machines might be actually dropping?
Since we were actually got in the reservation queue, so we will actually have the ability to buy them. I think they're working through that queue throughout the rest of the year. I don't know exactly.
I have 3 days. I have 3 days to find the money.
No, you have 3 days when you get another email.
Mm-hmm.
To find the money. I don't know when we'll get another email though. I don't know where on the list we are, but we are high enough on the list that they have stock to get to us. Sometime between now and December.
I know. And I'm going to get that email and be like, fuck, I'm in New York.
I got to sell some plasma.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, I got to sell some stock. Well,
you know what?
That's what credit cards are for, so that if I can have a couple of days to figure out how I'm going to pay for it.
No, pull out your friends and neighbors and just start robbing people's houses. They won't miss you. Come over, steal people's extra PlayStations that they won't miss.
Man, I'm not gonna lie.
When
you're in a
Xbox.
rich neighborhood, people throw shit away in front of their houses that I look at it and go, holy crap, they're just leaving that for the garbage man? Wow.
Take it. They don't want it.
I don't have any place to put it.
Don't take it to keep it. Take it to sell it.
I have so much shit to sell. I don't need it. But
yeah, you've got 2 Steam Decks.
True. I got to get rid of that second Steam Deck. And no, I'm not selling it to you, any of my friends. I am not selling it to you to any of my friends because
I don't want it. I bought the
and I
Ally.
want to rip off whoever is buying it from me for as much money as I possibly can.
Or you can just hang on to it for when it goes up in price again.
Possible.
Oh, speaking of, that actually is a nice segue.
Mm-hmm.
So Circana has its numbers for May. Xbox had its worst hardware sales ever and raised its prices again.
Yeah, Xbox did raise its price again. So now the new price, okay, the Xbox Series X 1 TB with the disk drive was 650. It's now 800. Xbox Series X 1 TB all digital was 600 now, or so was 600, now it's 750. Xbox Series S 512 was 400, now it's 500. Xbox Series S 1 TB was 450, it's now 600.
So the Xbox Series S is now more expensive than the Xbox Series X was at launch.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also worth saying these prices are not in effect at the moment. They are
It's going to
going
be
into effect August 1st.
August 1st. Right, yeah.
So if you want one, you have time. The best time to buy a console was yesterday. The second best time to buy it is now.
Yeah.
But the reason that they're doing that is because according to Circana, in May, Xbox hardware units fell 12%. But let's see, spending on hardware actually grew 7%.
Right, which means people are paying more for fewer consoles.
Yes, the people that can't afford it are buying it, and the price increases are having the effect of like the spending is going up, even if the number of purchases is going down.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And
Sony also had a very shitty time. PlayStation units declined by 58% compared to last May. And PlayStation 5 spending was down 43%.
Oh, it hurts.
And so that
more, that dropped more than half, almost 2/3.
That is the price increases, because at this time last year, those price increases were not in effect. And so when you're comparing all of these, whenever like these May numbers come out, they always compare year to year, like last May to this May. But those tell a very confusing story. I want to see May to February, March, April.
Really?
I want to see April to May numbers because that's a more direct through line.
Yeah.
But yeah, price increases. Look, you make something more expensive, less people buy it.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, it shows that Xbox is at the point where like hardware sales can't really get any lower. Like, wow, it only decreased by 12%. That's good. After it's gone down and hit rock bottom.
Yeah. The and it's, we wanted to talk about Asha Sharma, about how she speed ran. Well, we did. We talked about how she speed ran. Everything's going to be great to everything's fucked like within a week. But this is a tough time for Xbox, and I was sharing this with Nick, and I don't think it's like should be a revelation, but I did hear from this group of people, somebody who is in the inside of studios that will go unmentioned, and none of the studios I am about to mention, but it is an open knowledge within studios of question that Xbox is, we know that there have been discussions about questions of whether certain studios will be shut down.
Look, you're kind of dancing around it, but like, has someone with no information on the inside who just reads like Reddit and IGN and Kotaku, Compulsion, Double Fine, and Ninja Theory are like, their heads are on the guillotine, getting ready to come down. I think according to Reddit over the weekend, layoffs have hit Ninja Theory. Compulsion hasn't been hit with layoffs, but there's been a lot of people just voluntarily leaving for other jobs. So like those are the three studios that are basically looking to get offset. But a lot of rumors are that the grand layoffs will be much bigger and include like Arcane, even some Call of Duty studios, even fuck, what else? What's the people making Gears? It's not Compulsion. It's another C word. The complex,
Oh,
the
the
cog,
the collective.
collective.
Yeah.
No,
No.
collective was shut down, wasn't it? Who's making
Here's
E-Day? Is it the collective?
it is the
The
coalition.
coalition. Yes, like okay, even coalition. That basically a lot of layoffs will be wide ranging,
Hmm.
and
And
this happens to come at a time. Uh, Sony has officially started laying off a bunch
w-
of the Bungie
well,
teams.
let me
Okay,
finish up
okay, we'll
what
get into
I
that. We'll get
said
into
was
that.
that it's more than just layoffs, that for certain, according to this person, Double Fine has been told, we are shutting you down unless you can figure out either a way to buy yourself out of this, or you find a buyer, you find investors. You need to
Mm.
go find investors. It's not just there's mass layoffs. It's that several studios are actually going to be shut down completely.
That makes sense. I know
And I think that that's
they.
something that we extrapolated from the tea leaves, but we didn't really know if those conversations had happened. Those actual conversations, report according to my source, have happened. Double Fine has been told, Tim Schafer has been told, we're shutting you down unless you can find investors or buy yourself out of this.
Yeah, and they had it had come out that during their Summer Game Fest showcase, they showed off Senua, the new game
Mm-hmm.
from Ninja
Right.
Theory.
Ninja Theory.
But that at that time, they were already planning, we're not going to publish this. Like we're already trying to get rid of Ninja Theory, but they let them announce the game with the intention and hope that maybe that would encourage
And
another
in,
investor to come in
and buy
um,
Ninja Theory
and
from
buy
them.
Ninja Theory. But basically,
Yeah.
that's advertising for Ninja Theory, but Xbox won't publish it.
Yeah,
Um,
and honestly, I think that that was the right thing to do.
see,
Not
I
announcing that
I
would have been bad. The fact that it was out, the fact that people saw it, it is advertising for them. And it's going to make it much easier for them to go to investors, to go to some other source and say, hey, Xbox wants to sell us if you want to buy.
I don't know if it is because I don't think Senua is that popular of a franchise.
It is a game that is clearly ready to go. It feels more ready to go. It's compare that argument to, like, say, Double Fine, who's doesn't really have much of anything that's coming out right now that we know of. They would have to see
Yeah,
it in-house and trust it's already out there in the world. It's
but
already been
I
announced. There has that feeling that it's there. It's
yeah, but we
right
don't
there.
know how
You're
far along
buying
it
this
is,
game. Exactly. You're
and
buying this game that we already know about and that people have already heard about, so that
but
it's already there.
I don't think anybody wants to buy that game. I don't think Hellblade should not have been a franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Ninja Theory was like a platinum level maker of action games. They made DMC, Enslaved. Um, oh, I keep blanking on the other one. Heavenly Sword. Heavenly Sword was like a PlayStation exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they should have gone back to that, but instead they kind of got stuck in this indie action game franchise that never really sold particularly well. And
Mm-hmm.
Xbox kept it going in hopes of getting the prestige recognition. But it's like they're tying the studio to an anchor of a franchise, and I don't think that will help them.
No.
So I feel
Well,
bad for Ninja Theory because
it's I think if they have
I don't think the future's
a
bright.
more compelling deck to present to potential buyers and or investors when Sensua is already out and has been announced.
Yeah, and Double Fine released Kiln. They released Kiln this year. They released Keeper last year, but again, neither of those games sold particularly well.
No, no, it's I think it's going to be a much harder sell. I think,
Which they didn't have to because they were on Xbox and Game Pass, and that was the point. We
yeah,
don't want sales, but now we do want sales. So
right.
fuck you for
And
following the rules.
yeah, so much for that. Thank you very much. Fuck off. Um, I think of all of those studios, and this is not from my source, this is my own opining, knowing nothing more than what I just told you. Of those studios, I think Double Fine has the highest capacity for resolution for being saved. Um, and not be and for completely different reasons than everyone else. Double Fine makes good small games. It's run by a legend with name recognition. It's a very small team. They've all been working for them for a very long time. They're all doing well financially. I could very much see that between Tim Schafer, who has resources because he is a celebrity, and through their employees, I could see an employee buyout. And I can also see Xbox being more open to being kinder price wise for an employee buyout versus an investor purchase of the studio from them.
Okay, between those two, sure.
Yeah, that they're going to cut them a little bit of a break because it's Double Fine. It just has its, different studios have different rules. Different games have different rules. GTA has its own rules. Rockstar has its own rules.
Although
Double Fine sort of has its own rules here because it's Double Fine and it's Tim Schafer.
under Phil, I could see that. Under Asha, I don't think Asha gives a shit.
I think Asha would. I think anyone, regardless of whether you know
Asha
games,
doesn't know
whether you
video
know
games. She
people,
doesn't know who Tim
right.
Schafer
I
is.
think even if it was widget sales and you were closing 5 widget studios and all the other widget studios were coming to you trying to get investors, and little widget, the littlest of the widget companies comes up and says, "We have a deal that employees are going to buy us out,
Little
but
Charles
we can
Dickens with
only
his bowl.
spend this much. It's
Please,
not what
sir,
you want,
can I buy us out?
but the employees want to keep their jobs and they're willing to pay you for it. And this is how much we have. Would you accept it?" Nobody would not consider taking a price cut for an employee buyout of a
Consider,
small widget
yes.
company, even if you
There's,
don't know nothing about widgets.
I'm just saying, I leave open the possibility of Asha spitting in their bowl.
Yeah. Well, also Asha has to know, and if she doesn't, the person standing behind her who's whispering her ear to ear, telling her about what video game industry is about, will say, "Double Fine is kind of legendary."
I think we are long past the image rehabilitation. I think we
I don't know that it's not image rehabilitation.
no, but
It's
like
that
caring about the image of Xbox, I think we're past that. I
no,
think
caring about the
they
image of Xbox, absolutely.
Mm.
But I think that you could say, Asha, if you're the person that doesn't that if you're the person that turns down the employee buyout to save Double Fine, a legendary studio, because you wanted a little bit more money, you're going to be remembered for that. You are going to be
Mhm.
remembered for history. Will
Mhm.
anybody care about who shuts down Compulsion? No. Will everybody care about who shuts down Double Fine? The person who didn't take the employee buyout offer that was reasonable because they wanted a few more $1 million? That people are going to remember that,
They will. I'm not going to put it
and they're
past
going to
her.
remember it her, that it was her who
I
did it. It's
I
gonna,
would
yeah.
not put it past her.
I don't know. I don't know. At this point, they're not selling these studios to make money on the sales price. They're selling these studios to get them off the fucking books.
Yeah.
So if they make 10 million, 20 million, 50 million, whatever they have to sell it for, and if they take a 10%, 20% discount, that's money that they wouldn't normally have, that they will just have to sell and write off later. That's
I agree.
Yeah, that's
I
cold hard business,
agree.
but I don't think Asha is cold hard business. I think Asha is I don't think she is. I honestly don't.
I
I
also feel like if I've learned anything looking at the tech industry for the past 10 years,
mhm,
it is irrational. It is
mhm.
not realistic. It is not logical. So I wouldn't put it past any of them.
Maybe we'll see. But it would be nice if
We'll see.
Double Fine went back to being an independently owned studio by Tim Schafer and his employees.
Yeah.
I think that that would be the best feel good story that could possibly come out of that.
And I believe that the next Microsoft quarterly report is the end of July. So
Mhm.
I assume that that is when all of this will shake out.
Yeah.
They're looking for sellers and investors now, but all of these layoffs will happen in July before the next quarterly report.
Probably.
So we will see exactly how much damage is going to happen in a month.
Well, no, I think that the quarterly report that ends in July will report on revenues and numbers that end June 30th. I think it's sooner than that.
Okay, so then
June
you think
30th is the end of the second quarter
for Microsoft,
for everybody.
but Microsoft,
Oh,
their
they have a
financials could
different.
work differently.
Oh yeah, what is the last day of the second quarter? What Microsoft Q2 2026 dates. Microsoft second quarter.
Yeah,
Oh, I
June.
guess
Oh,
that's.
Q4 is June 30th.
Oh, this is Q4. That's right, Q4. Yeah, June 30th.
Oh
That's what I
yeah,
said.
June
End of
30th.
June. End of June. So they have 2 days to get off the books to hit the Q4.
Well, then we will either wake up to 10,000 layoffs on Monday, or they'll keep all these studios going and wind down slower over the next quarter.
Yeah. Speaking of layoffs, you might as well hit that. The layoffs are starting to happen, and not just at Microsoft, but other places. And I let you take that because I have to
Yes.
step away to go to the bathroom again because I drank too much soda.
Okay. You also have a story. PlayStation has reportedly laid off, quote, most of the Destiny team. What that actually amounts to is 292 workers. And I believe the studio is 800 people. So that's a solid, let's say 40% of the entire studio. They've also laid off some of the Marathon team, not all. All of the cinematics team for Bungie is gone. So, no, all of the cinematics team for Destiny is gone. And we had known about this happening for a while, and just the trigger has finally been pulled. And knowing that the quarter ends this month, that makes sense that the trigger is pulled now because that's the time to do it. So I'm a little surprised that Xbox hasn't done it yet. But in addition to that, we are in the season of layoffs. Quantic Dreams is also threatening to lay off about 115 people, and because their recently released live service game flopped hard. But employees have said that if those 115 people get laid off, they're already overworked and overstretched. If that happens, Star Wars Eclipse will not come out. The studio will be unable to make and finish that game. So their employees are now striking this week in order to try to stave off those layoffs that they say will cripple the studio and ensure Star Wars Eclipse never comes out.
Yeah,
So
that sucks.
the season of layoffs has begun. This is the story we will be talking about for the next couple weeks.
Also, Ubisoft is about to lay off
There you go.
93 additional people in San Francisco. Oh, by the way, that's right. I forgot about that. Yves Guillemot's brother got killed.
Oh
You hear
yeah,
about that?
yeah,
he
plane
was
crash.
was it plane crash? Yeah, it was a plane crash.
Yeah, Cessna.
Yeah, I can't remember. He was a member of, I mean, he's a Guillemot family, so of course he's part of Ubisoft. I don't know if he was still in Ubisoft. I think he was still an Ubisoft employee, or at least in the
Yeah,
C-suite of Ubisoft. But yeah,
he was.
he died in a plane crash, which is awful. To
And
happen to anybody.
there's some controversy because the New York Times obituary, people are like, is this AI driven? Because it was like, yeah, here's a 400-word obituary about the guy, and we spend like 200 words talking about the woke controversies of Assassin's Creed Shadows. And it was like, wait, what?
Really?
Uh-huh. And it's like, it feels like someone just Googled Ubisoft, took a bunch of the recent headlines, and wrote an obituary based on that.
It probably is AI.
Because it's like,
Probably
how
exactly
the
what happened.
fuck do you talk about Elon Musk criticized the game for being woke? And it's like, really?
In
That's
his
part of the obituary?
Yeah.
Yes.
Case in
fucking
point,
crazy.
it's not generative, it's assistive. Somebody needed to read that actually understood Ubisoft and understood the Guillemot family and realized that,
Or just, understood social tact.
yeah, yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah, Claude should not be writing your obituary.
no.
Should I just do that right now and have Claude write my obituary? See what it says about me?
Sure.
I'm curious.
But yeah, layoffs at Ubisoft, layoffs at Bungie, soon to be layoffs at Xbox. Um, welcome to summer. What else did you have?
I'm sorry, I'm writing it as please write the obituary for Edie Sellers,
Oh,
aka Edith
jeez.
Alderette, former reporter in San Francisco. Say former reporter and radio host in San Francisco.
Oh, we can talk about Epic. I forgot about that.
Okay, you go do that.
Um,
I'm writing my obituary. I'm reading what my obituary
oh my
would be.
god. Yeah, Epic had their State of Unreal event, and I actually was kind of impressed by it. I'm not impressed by like Unreal Engine 6. It looks like their talk of like its new abilities is mainly just, hey, you can incorporate AI models into Unreal now, which like
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I think the diminishing returns of video game graphics is starting to be felt in the engine itself because they couldn't sell the engine off of any big visual upgrade. Instead, they're selling it on this idea of interoperability with AI models, LLMs, I should specify.
Mm-hmm.
But what I thought was more interesting is they are taking Unreal Engine 6 and the much more casual, consumer friendly. Yes. Well,
What's happening?
I thought someone knocked on the door.
Oh,
Um,
it's probably the
but
cat trying to let itself in.
no, both the cats are here. Um, but they're combining Unreal Engine 6 and the more consumer friendly Unreal Engine 6 for Fortnite into one engine, with the
Mhm.
idea being that if you develop in Unreal Engine, you can then easily port anything you make into Fortnite. Um, which I think is kind of a cool idea and is actually like a functionally effective version of the metaverse that we were being sold in the 2020s. This idea that because a game is developed in the same engine, you can take those assets from one game to another. And that makes sense. That's like that actually is a realistic, logical way to create a metaverse like situation. Um, and so I'm really curious and kind of optimistically, I'm optimistic about seeing how this technology could advance divorced from all the investor excitement, because I think all the bullshit around the metaverse and NFTs was driven by investors the way AI is being driven now. Divorce it from all of that obsessive funding, you get something more realistic and practical. And so I'm kind of excited to see what the more realistic version of the metaverse would be. But that said, Tim Sweeney was also out here going, I think it's irresponsible of Valve to require AI notices on games because that makes people angry and then those games don't sell as well. And that's just really mean. Also,
Mm-hmm.
we're incorporating AI engines into our games. So,
Fuck Tim Sweeney. He's so
yeah.
fucking evil. He's so fucking evil.
On one hand, Tim Sweeney says some good stuff. And like, hey, I'm all for open platforms. He was trying to make iOS more open. I was just saying about how we need the open systems. That's how I get my emulators. But then he also says shit like that. And it's like, God damn it, Tim, you take 2 steps forward and you take 2 steps back.
Mm-hmm.
You're not even progressing. You're just staying in the same place, which
No. You're still a piece of shit human.
I guess for a CEO, staying in the same place is winning, but like that's a fucking low bar.
Yeah, it
Just
is a very low
just
bar.
just know when to shut the fuck up. Also, Tim, anytime you criticize Valve's business model, it's worth remembering Epic Store is losing money.
And
Steam is
Valve
not.
is making more money than you will
It's like
ever have.
criticizing a business model that's more successful than your own
Jim,
doesn't.
the
Mm,
secretaries, the administrative assistants at Valve make more money than you do.
well, I don't know about that. Tim Sweeney
So,
makes a lot of money because
yeah,
he is the
true.
CEO. But it's just like you're criticizing someone more successful than you. It's like I don't think Valve needs your advice,
Nope.
and it does feel like very petty. I'm picking on someone because they're better than me.
All right, here's my obituary as according to ChatGPT. I'm interested to find out if it's, I haven't not read it at all.
Oh,
Edie Sellers, known as Edie Alderette, passed away, leaving distinguished career in journalism, broadcasting, and public service. She dedicated her professional life to informing, connecting, and giving voice to communities she served. Edie began a career as a newspaper reporter, earning a reputation in thoughtful integrity. No, yeah, no. That's not wrong, but I mean, they didn't cite where I worked. She later became a respected radio host in San Francisco. Did not cite where I worked. So obviously it's just generating bullshit. And not actually looking
oh
up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah, this is just
Also, is it just me or has Nick been peaking for a while? My bright speaker buzzes when he speaks. I don't know what to do
I'm
about
not
that.
hearing it. Stop
Okay,
yelling, Nick. Stop
make me.
it.
I'm sorry.
Oh, now
Yeah, I hope
you
your
are
speaker
super loud. You are super loud now.
really.
Yeah, you just went up.
Oh, I didn't change my voice.
Well, and you moved your microphone.
No, I touched it. Okay, what if I pull it back? Is that better?
Probably better. Well, no, actually it was better closer
No,
up, but I think we need to adjust your
I'm gonna pull it back a little bit. There we
No,
go.
because if
There
you
we go.
pull it back, then you're getting slapped back off of the walls. You're getting echo.
Okay, then I'll bring it forward.
I will edit your mic settings and I will fix it for you.
Yeah.
There. Is that
So
better, AC Ray?
yeah, I hope it is. Yeah. So Unreal.
Oops, sorry. Is that better, AC Ray? That was unintentional. That was unintentional, Nick. I did not mean to mute you. That was unintentional.
Sure. Sure. Um. Yeah. Unreal Engine 6. Seems neat. Integration seems cool. It also feels like Unreal Engine 5 just came out. So,
hmm Do you
I
have
don't know that it
a
feels like a
banner for this?
fast switch for. No, I don't.
No,
I was
just
talking
riffing.
about this when you were making your obituary.
Okay. Um, Okay, last
Yeah.
couple of items are mine. FromSoft. Do you remember FromSoft was the CEO? FromSoft was
Yeah.
facing a bit of a shareholder revolt. The
From
Takeshi Natsuno.
from one shareholder who has a history of making very bad suggestions for video game
Yes,
companies.
Oasis Management. It is
Yeah.
their largest shareholder. They own 15.25% in Katakawa. Um, and Katakawa owns FromSoft. So back on June 23rd, Oasis Management proposed that Katakawa CEO Takaishi Natsuno be dismissed from the company. And this was because they had not optimized the revenue from Elden Ring. They said that the earnings per share have fallen to less than half of what they previously were in the 5 years since Nasuo was elected as CEO. Oasis did criticize what Katakawa's quantity over quality strategy, stating that their numerous manga, anime, and video game releases in the past years had weakened the company's actual intellectual properties. So they had Oasis forced a vote to remove Katakashi Natsuno and failed. Um, let's see. Let's see. So Katakawa did release a notice that was called regarding changes in members of the board following the end of the shareholder vote that was held on June 24th. according to this notice, the majority of Katakawa shareholders voted in favor of CEO Takeshi Natsuno's proposal against Oasis Management's proposal. So Takeshi Natsuno proposed, Oasis said, fire the CEO. The CEO had a dueling proposal on the ballot that included the appointing Koji Okura, who's the former director of Mitsubishi Heavy Industries, to the board of directors. And the shareholders voted in favor of Natsuno's proposition and voted down Oasis Management's proposition. So Natsuno keeps his job, and they have a new member of the board of directors who is friendly, obviously, to Natsuno. So essentially, he used it as a method of shoring up his base within the organization, within the board of directors. So yeah,
I don't know what their
keep in
anime
mind,
and
by the way,
manga situation is, but I just hope don't fuck with FromSoft.
Well, that's the thing. Don't anticipate this being the last one. So Oasis, one of the things that they have done in the last few years is they just buy 15% of the company. They have steadily been increasing their stake in Katakawa over the last year. They had, I forget how much they had before, but in March they increased the stake to 11.85%. And then they increased it again from 13% to 15.25% on June 23rd. So as they've just been slowly increasing their share amount as they want to exert pressure on Katakawa to get rid of Natsuno. So expect that they will continue to increase their share ownership until eventually that Natsuno is gone. So this is a bad thing for FromSoft because I doubt they'll walk away from this. They'll just continue to increase their share of it until they have enough of a share that they can boost, oust.
They'll keep
Natsuno.
trying.
Yeah, they'll keep trying. So the next general shareholders meeting is in 2027. You'll know in about March of 2027 of whether they intend to go after him again.
Okay.
Chances are probably they will. And this will be bad for FromSoft because what they want to do is they want to optimize revenue from things like FromSoft. Specifically, they think that the slow release of games from FromSoft is hurting the company, that they're not releasing enough games, and they are potentially going to turn FromSoft into an Elden Ring machine, which is only going to make the games worse and going to do exactly what they're accusing Natsuno from doing, is diluting and devaluing the IPs. They're going to devalue the IP, which sucks. But we'll know early next year if that's going to continue. Chances are, my money's on they will.
I feel like we live in an era now where anytime you hear the term investor, it's like, oh God. What was the thing Reagan? Was it Reagan that said 5 scariest words are "I'm from the government and I'm here to help"?
Yeah.
Now, I'm an investor and I have an idea.
Yeah. Those are the 6 scariest words of the modern era. Speaking of which, I'm an investor and I have an idea. No. Well, EA was sold to the Saudis and the Kushner family, right? Well, now it's starting. EA has announced that they're going to be starting in-game ads in the Sims
That's
games.
right. We didn't have a chance to talk about last week. Last week, EA had announced that they were creating an in-game advertising engine, or a whole system set up to make it easier for companies to advertise in-game.
Well,
Sims is the first.
This is the first one. This is the team of executives said about the expectations for EA advertising activations and some of your EA favorite titles, including The Sims. Quote, EA advertising is expanding EA's ecosystem by enabling brands to integrate directly into gameplay through dynamic, real-time placements, from stadium signage to custom in-game content, designing to enhance, not disrupt, the player
Mm.
experience.
It's assistive.
Fun fact, it's this fucking eruptive. The player experience, in these interactive gameplay environments, brands become part of the game itself. That's fucking disruptive. Reflecting how players engage with advertising in real world contexts, brands can activate across live environments, tailoring placements to meet campaign objectives, and update campaigns with ongoing optimization informed by aggregated engagement insights.
So
So some of
I'm
the
a
examples that they
oh, yeah.
cited
Okay.
were activations such as EA Sports X Visa, EA Sports X State Farm, The Sims X Coach, and Vans X Skate brands.
Some of those are not as egregious as I would think. Like if you have a Coach branded merchandise in The Sims,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of fits what The Sims are, right?
Right, right.
I don't want a billboard advertising Supergirl in The Sims, but like,
Oh,
yeah,
it totally will.
but like a Coach bag in The Sims is not egregious. That's like, okay, that fits with that fits with the fantasy of Sims.
Right, because that's a collaboration.
Yes.
Makes sense. Vans
And the thing
collaborating
is, that's
with
not something
Skate.
that's
Absolutely.
dynamic. That's something that you
Right.
want to make a deal and you want to just put that in the game.
Yeah, and I think that they launched those because that's something that's like, yeah, I wouldn't mind having Coach bags in The Sims. I wouldn't mind having Vans cosmetics in
Yeah, let me
Skate.
buy a
Absolutely.
Lamborghini in The Sims.
Sure, absolutely. Not a problem. But that's not also what they said. They said dynamic, aggregated in advertising, including billboards.
Yeah.
That is going to be a thing.
And
And
the
they
thing is,
they did that years
I
ago and it did not fly very well. I doubt
yeah.
that billboards in your Sims game, billboards in your driving game, none of those things, billboards in FIFA are not going to go well.
Well,
It's not going to go
FIFA,
well.
like the
Well, I don't
sports
think they do
games, I
FIFA anymore.
feel like make advertising on a stadium in sports games makes perfect sense because the stadiums are already littered with advertising. It's
Right.
like,
But if you're
yes,
driving around The
do that.
Sims and there's a billboard for Supergirl, that would be a
That's when it
problem.
feels weird.
Yeah.
I always thought going back to Alan Wake, Alan Remedy had a deal with Duracell because you remember Alan Wake, your flashlight is
Oh
a weapon, so
yeah.
you have to
Yeah, yeah,
keep
yeah.
getting batteries, and they were
Mhm.
Duracell batteries because Remedy
Mhm.
had an agreement with Duracell.
Yeah.
I thought that was fine. It's like, well, yeah, there's a battery in the game. Duracell's a battery I use. It's like, well, yeah, okay, what the fuck? Who cares? And if that gives Remedy a couple extra bucks to help with development, that's fine.
God, I can't remember. It was in the early, very, very early days of this show. I remember that there were very egregious examples of advertising
Yeah, and there's a
where
way to do that
there
wrong.
would be
If
like
there were
blimps flying
billboards in
by
Alan
with,
Wake,
yeah,
that
blimps
then it
flying
would
by
be a
with billboards.
problem.
Yeah, but that's also not fitting in with it. But if I'm in like some area where there is a blimp that flies by that has advertising, I'm that will be distracting to me if I see a real life brand on a billboard, regardless of where it is. I'm going to notice it. I'm going to feel sold to. And back in the day, the argument was I'm paying you so that you can advertise to me. Fuck you.
Mhm.
I bought this game. Why am I spending $80 on a game where you're going to pump me advertising? If you're going to subsidize my game with advertising, it shouldn't be an $80 game. It should be a free game. So, and that's arguable with Sims, is that
Yeah.
if you're going to charge me as much money as you do to own The Sims, then or worse yet, you want the Coach X Sims collab? It's going to cost you $5. Well, wait a minute. Aren't isn't Coach paying you too?
Mhm.
Why are you charging me $5 in order to have this cosmetic that's coach
Is
stuff.
does that already exist?
Why are you getting paid from both sides here? What?
I was looking up. Okay, the Coach collection. Yeah, January 13th, 2026. Expect wearable staples, bold statement pieces. You got sneakers, jackets, skirts, everything about this. Take a
Is it
look. They
free?
got. That's what I'm trying to look. They got pictures when your sim is lounging. Accessories make the outfit in the room. Show off your stylish pieces. Welcome to the carriage house with friends and ambitions. No, that's just an update. The Coach collection will be available on Sims 4. Okay, let's see. Sims
It is
4
free.
Coach.
It says the Coach collection for Sims 4 is completely free. It is included as a complimentary base game update and costs 0. Now, this is according to the AI, too.
Mm.
AI overview.
Okay, like
So,
see
yeah,
that's fine.
right.
Coach wants to advertise, put it in there and let people play with that. I
Now,
think there's
question,
a
question.
fine line.
Did you make me pay for that game? If I'm inviting you
I
into my
mean,
household by buying a game from you, why are you advertising to me?
but
Shouldn't you be
if that's
giving
an
me a
update,
little bit of that game? A little bit of that money?
if you buy
Because
Sims
you're
4 and then
Mhm.
they add a free update later that lets you buy Coach items, I don't get the offense in that. That feels like there's a fine line between advertising, and that feels like it's on the good side.
Mhm.
A free update to add in a piece of merch, it's like, yeah, fine, do that.
Yeah, that's
That's not
not
a
how
big deal.
back in my day when we first started the show, that's not how Hawks and I felt about it at all. It's like, yeah, no, if I'm paying for my game, you don't get to chart to use me as advertising bait and sell me to someone else because I
That's
paid for this game.
yeah, things have changed.
Yeah, things have changed.
But also,
AC
like
Ray says, I
you
prefer,
pay to go to a movie, and
right.
there's product placement in a movie.
And
So
I fucking hate
why not
that
get
too.
upset
I
about that?
fucking hate that too. Back in
No.
those days, we hated it just as much, and we have just
I
become
never
immune to it.
I never got the frustration for that. There's a way to do it poorly. There's a way to do it well. There's a line, and yeah, call out the people that do it poorly, but like also say, hey, the Duracells and Alan Wake, that was fine. I wasn't offended by that.
hmm AC Ray says, I prefer in games with fake advertising that get replaced, like racing games. Have they get replaced in it, like racing games.
Mm.
Where are the swinger apps, divorce lawyers, and attorneys with help with accidental drownings? Yeah. So yeah, it feels icky. Feels icky. I know it's not going to stop anything, but yeah, I mean they've got to offset that $20 billion price tag that the Saudi are,
Oh yeah, that is now all on
well,
EA.
Saudis are having much problems getting their oil through the Strait of Hormuz, so they're falling on a
Mm.
little hard times.
No,
Um,
didn't you hear? That's fine. The war's over.
oh, that's right. I
Yeah,
forgot
the
about
war's
that.
over. It's been over for the past 6 months.
Do you know that I went to the store yesterday, and for the first time in a long time, I bought beef. I bought 1 pound of stew meat. Now, stew meat comes pre-cut up. It is
Hmm.
usually the cheapest bits of ends that you possibly can get. It also tends to be a little on the stupidly expensive side, considering this is like the little pieces of ends and shit. But they charge too much for it because it's easy. I would pay $9 a pound for that last time I bought it. I bought a pound of it yesterday to make Cornish pasties for the radio club, the San Mateo Radio Club, as a thank you. $17.75.
Ooh. Yeah,
It's
basically doubled.
it's no fucking joke when it comes to cattle. We live in literal cattle country. United States is the cow capital of the motherfucking world. I mean, of the cows that we eat, as opposed to like India where they don't. But we're the cow capital of the fucking world. And it's 17.75 for a tray of stew meat. just it's I had to show it to the boyfriend's father who is MAGA and staying
Oh,
with
of
us.
course he is. Of
Well,
course he is.
he's quietly MAGA because, his wife down in the desert watches, they do nothing but watch Fox News. That's
Of
all
course
they do
the of
all of the time.
course the gold digger is MAGA, and of course the
Yeah,
90-year-old man
yeah,
is.
yeah. And I had to show him, and I'm like, I cooked it up, and I was showing him, I'm like, that's a pound of meat that I just bought today. How, how much do you think that costs? He goes, well, I have no idea. I go, well, I'll tell you that would have cost me $9 last year, 2 years ago. $17.75. Even he, who doesn't know anything about, he's never been in a grocery store to buy food in his life because he's an executive. Wow. I'm like, I don't want to make this political, but are we great again? 17.75 for a pound of stew meat. The cheapest meat, the least good cut of meat that you could practically get. How how's that we're gonna bring prices down thing going, Dad? He just was silent. But
Give it
that's how it
time.
is. Is that no, no,
Th-
that's he doesn't respond to it. He just shuts
There
down,
is
as
there is
they
no
tend to
war in
do.
Bising say.
Advice exact. Nice, nice. Anyway, um, that's the last thing I have. What are you gonna play in the next week, you think?
Crimson Desert, but also I have to play something else because I need a new game for next week.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. There's a lot of stuff. The Steam sale has begun.
Oh, that's right. I
Um,
gotta watch Steam Sale.
I've got a bunch of stuff in my cart that I'm thinking about, but I've also got a bunch of stuff from PlayStation just the other week. Oh, I
Mm-hmm.
bought Cyberpunk because the Ultimate Edition was $30.
Oh, oh,
And it's like, ooh, that's good. I was waiting for it to
yeah,
get there.
yeah.
But that's
Not
also
bad
a
at all.
long game, and I don't know if I want to start that. I gotta find a nice good indie game on
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation or Steam to check out.
So, as a reminder, I know it's a few weeks off, but I won't at least be here, and I don't think we'll have Andrew, but we may. May, if you're still here, talk to Nick. Maybe you guys could do a couple of shows together. We will not have, at least for right now, I will not be here, questionable of whether we will have a show or not, on Sunday, July 19th and Sunday, July 26th. The reason being, I will be in the great state of New York and then the great state of Pennsylvania and then back in the great state of New York. So maybe
Uh,
I'll call
oh,
in or something.
yeah, AC Worth talking about what games he'll be playing. He said he's still trying to decide too. Tried out Destroy All Humans, but didn't care for it. I might play the old science fiction game Outcast, but I don't know which remaster would fit me. I don't
Yeah.
know Outcast.
Oh, wasn't Outcast the horror one where you go into the
No, that
no, that
was
was Outlast.
Outlast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of games that I should check my wish list. I'm really surprised I haven't gotten any notifications about things being cheaper on my wish list right now, but we'll see. If anybody wants to
The
give
Witcher
me any
3. The Witcher 3 is $3.50.
what?
Yeah.
I never finished The Witcher 3. I didn't
Neither
finish the
neither
final
did
act.
I. Neither did I. And they announced that there's a DLC for The Witcher 3 coming next year.
$3?
Yeah. There's a Witcher trilogy pack that's 90% off and has someone that owns Witcher 1 and 2 already.
Oh, okay.
Witcher 3 is discounted um in the bundle to be $3.59.
See, I had Witcher 1 and 2, but they were
But
on
then
PC and or on
but you
Xbox
can also just
360.
buy The Witcher standalone. Guess how much it is?
How much?
$3.99. $4.
I may have to get that. I may have to get that.
The complete edition that has all the DLC is $10. But like,
Let's talk about,
oh, I'm
put it
I'm
in
tempted.
the Discord. Let me pull up the Discord information. If you are not on our Discord, please come to our Discord. We would love to have you there. But in the Discord, under the game deals, I would love it if you guys would give me some
Mm.
recommendations. You all know me pretty well. Um, if you let's see, where's the Discord information? There we go. If you, and it's just look under GameHounds if you can't find us on Discord with that code. If you think of any games you think I might like, make a case for it because I'm going to be loading up my Steam Deck so that I can go to New York. I'm going to be on a plane for 6.5 hours going to New York and coming back. So I'm going to have a long time to be playing video games. And I would love to have your guys' information and your guys' suggestions because I'm going to be getting rid of a lot of the big, bulky games that I no longer play and loading up that hard drive with as much shit as I possibly can. So give me some suggestions from good games. You know what I like. You know I don't like Metroidvania games. You don't know I don't like side scrollers. You
You
know
like
I like
management sims.
I love management sims. Um Simple,
Oh,
clever, and I
there's
like RPGs.
there's a
I like grand strategy.
there's a Stardew like series that's like
Talk to me.
no, it's not My Time in Portia. Fields of Mystria? Fields of Mystria is apparently a Stardew like that I've heard a lot of people talking about on podcasts.
Put it in the Discord. Put it in the Discord, and I'm going to go through and I am going to spend a whole day during the Steam sale locking this stuff down and getting it loaded into that in anticipation of our trip. So please give me some suggestions. And if you find an insane deal like Witcher 3 for $3.99, might want to like pass that along into the gaming deals. There is a channel for game deals. Pass that into that section. But yeah, let's find some good games for all of us to share. And if you are looking for good games, go to that Discord and you will be able to find some stuff. Thank you for putting that in there, Nick. I just got the notification. See, I get your notifications. All right, on that note, we should probably news tower. Ooh. Now that looks interesting. Put it in the game. Put it in the thing. Put it in the
News
thing.
Tower.
That sounds interesting. Just the name. All right, let me get this stupid banner off there because it's kind of annoying. All right, anything else before we close out this show?
No.
All right, then let's close this out.
Ha! Developer. News
What?
Tower is develop your newspaper and become New York's media mogul. It's a
Oh, I'm.
tycoon. Yeah, it's a newspaper
Oh my
manager.
God, so annoying. Yes, that sounds exactly the kind of thing that I might like. So
Oh,
good
set in the
call there.
1930s.
Even
Back
better.
when newspapers mattered.
Back when newspapers were fun because, well, they mattered and they were fun because they lied like crazy.
Mm.
All right,
Oh,
let's try
there's
this
also a
again.
demo.
Let's close this out. You've been listening to GameHounds. GameHounds episode 824. We did record this on Sunday, June 28th, 2026. I'm Edie Sellers, and with me has been Nick DiNicola. Ways to get a hold of us. GameHounds.net is our website. GameHounds@gmail.com is our email. We record this show live every Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitch. On Facebook and YouTube, we are the GameHounds. On Facebook and Twitch, we are GameHounds, the GameHounds. On YouTube, we're GameHounds Vids, VIDS, as in GameHounds videos. And please feel free to join us. We would love to have you here Sundays, 2 p.m., noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern on Sundays, except for those 2 Sundays I mentioned earlier. Now, if you can't listen to us live, we would love it if you could listen to us as a podcast. Yes, it makes it a lot easier when you can just listen to us on demand. First off, you can go to any of those places, watch us if you want to watch us in video, but you can also listen as a podcast on Apple Podcasts or iHeartRadio or iHeart anything. Pretty much wherever you get a podcast, that's where you find us. Look up GameHounds Podcast and you will find us. If you listen to us, please leave us feedback. That goes for whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, if you're doing it live, if you're doing it after the fact, listen to the podcast. Send us some feedback. Give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whatever. What's important is that you actually respond because that helps other people find us. And if you hate what we're doing and have a suggestion, put it there. We see it. It'll help us make our show better. Speaking of making our show better, this is not a cheap show to do, and it is 100% funded by me and our patrons. Patreon.com/GameHounds if you would like to help. $1 a month is all we ask to help us pay for a bunch of the subscriptions for tools and services that help us, that we need to do the show. And again, as I've said, thank you so much to everyone in our Discord. If you would like to catch up with us whenever we are around or on, or want to send us an information and get a response from either me or Nick or AC Wraith or anyone else, go to our Discord. Discord information here or in any of the descriptions of any of the sources where you can find our show. Nick, thank you for being on the show. Also, a huge thanks to AC Wraith, who is our link bitch. Everything that we mention on the show, he makes a link for it, puts it in the comments. So if you're looking for the information to follow up on our sources, you can check there. Have a great week, everyone. We will see you or talk to you next weekend. Bye. And we're up. But we're
Okay,
here.
so-
We're still, I'm just out from the audio podcast.
So, News Tower was included in a bundle with a game called Hollywood Animal that I clicked on.
okay.
The description: make movies, even if someone has to die. It looks like Crusader Kings of Hollywood at the turn of the talkies. It's an early
That
access.
sounds amazing.
It's an early access, so it's not fully done yet. But then the video, it had you researching actors to find out what are some of their tendencies, and you could choose, find their illegal tendencies. Oh, let's give cocaine to this guy. And he's like, I saw you gave me the gift. I appreciate that. When my contract is up with my studio, I want to come work for you. Another one was researching to dig up dirt on someone. And it's like, oh, he gave poison to his terminally ill sister. We can use that as blackmail against him. And I was like, this is Crusader Kings.
I love this. Oh, I'm in. I am so in. AC Wraith, thank you so much for that recommendation. I am literally going to buy it right now. In fact, I'm going to go buy it right now. I'm going to go buy it right now, and I'm going to download it. I'm going to probably start playing it tonight. I shouldn't, but I will.
So those were two different games, the News Tower and
Right.
Hollywood
News Tower
Animal.
and Hollywood
But they're all
Animal.
part of a bundle.
Yeah. And what's the price?
27 for the two of them.
Ooh, it's not bad. That's not bad. A little expensive. Is it on sale right now?
Of course. Steam sale. Both
Yeah,
of them are
but
on sale.
What percent?
Oh, 30%.
Mm,
They're also brand new games, which is kind of what you can expect from a brand new game.
yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Look,
All right.
they're not The Witcher 3.
Yeah, I gotta go to. Speaking of spending money that I don't have, I'm gonna go to Costco. I gotta go buy milk for the old man because he drinks a lot of milk.
Did milk also double in price?
Yeah,
Hmm.
milk's
Make him pay
expensive.
for it.
He's got to spend his money on Lotto.
Oh, yes. It's an investment.
Mm. Yeah, he keeps on saying, "I gotta better hurry up and win the Lotto." It's like you do understand that's not how the Lotto works, right? Well, if I don't play this week, then I might not. I'm falling down. It's like I think that he really thinks he's gonna win the Lotto, and it's like you do realize there is a near zero chance of you winning the Lotto.
Yeah. That
But he's gotta
sounds
play it.
like a deep addiction.
It's not addiction. This is an old person thing. This is very much an old person thing. He did not give my boyfriend his Lotto ticket to he could pick up Lotto on the way home on Friday night or on Wednesday night last week, and he walked up to me panic stricken 10 minutes before Lotto closed that he needed to get down to 7-Eleven and get the lotto. And I had just gotten into a meeting. That was a one night a month that I have a meeting. And I'm sitting there with my earbuds and I'm like, I literally just got into a meeting. I mean, it was like 7:04 and the the meeting started at 7 and lotto closes at 7:30. And he flipped out, left the house. I fortunately saw him leave the house because boyfriend got home and said, it's too late for me to go get it now. Oop, Nick's gonna sneeze. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, lucky number 7. He left the house. Unfortunately, I saw him leave the house and he disappeared. And we're like running around the house trying to find him. I'm going out in the street. I don't see him anywhere. I'm looking around. And all of a sudden I hear blah, 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 Lotto, blah, blah, blah. And I realize he's over at the neighbor's house. He had knocked on their door asking them if they could drive him to 7-Eleven to go get the lotto. They don't speak English. So all they know is a old man came in and he's deaf, so he yells. So he's just yelling at them with this thing, and I had to bring him back, and he was just not in a good place. So this is more than just addiction.
Huh.
There's an element of dementia going on that. I mean, this is a former vice president of a major corporation. This is
That doesn't stop time from passing.
nope. Dementia, old age, and bad brains come for us all.
Yep.
It's just a matter of time. All right, everybody, have a great week. I gotta go get milk and lotto, and I will talk to you later. Bye.
Milk
What?
and lotto. Bye.
Milk and lotto. That's my life these days. Bye.